Initiating audience retention subroutines. Overcharging dopamine capacitors. Disengaging gamer moment limiters. Activating unit. Oh my god.
Oh man. It's so weird, like 15 seconds before the stream starts, I always black out and I don't know why. I'm sure it's nothing. How's everybody doing? Are y'all having a good Friday? I sure hope so. My Friday was good. You know, I just start pressing buttons supporting the economy until it's 5 and then pay the requisite amount of attention to my my dog and wife as per our social contract. And then I hop onto a 2-decade-old game to have, like, you know, epic moments and such. And I get to talk to all of you. And that's great. And look at this beautiful Bastoken day that we can relish. I'm relishing it. And I don't mean like the type of relish that you put on your hot dog or whatever, even though that definitely is not my thing. I respect it. I would not partake if you were to give me a hot dog that has relish on it. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's just diced up pickles, right? What is the streamer robot talking about? I don't know. That's actually a very good question. Hey Ruffles. Ruffles, if you have enough points, you can now trigger the Bober sound effect whenever you want. I reduced it from a 20-minute cooldown to a 15-minute cooldown, and I reduced the channel point cost. So while you can't spam it, it is technically more spammable than it was before. We all love to see it.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow!
Okay, so what are we doing today? I mean, the stream title kind of gives it away, but we're going to be going to the dunes and subjecting this character that definitely does not deserve it to 3 to 4 hours of testing her mortality. Sauerkraut and beans on the hot dog with the relish is good. I cannot stand sauerkraut. I appreciate it, its contribution to, like, you know, the foodiness of the world. That's not a real term, but let's just pretend for a moment that it is. I can't do it. I don't know why. I think it's just the smell of it is overpowering to me, and because of that, I don't give it the attention that it deserves. Let's shout for a teleport dem. Can I have it? Money, you can have this. Most of the white mages that have teleport capability have moved over to Juno by now. I'm actually gonna yell for it also. I was thinking to myself that I'm probably... Oh my god, we got an invite. What the fuck? That's very surprising. Look at that. Everything's coming out Millhouse. And we will give her $1,000 dues. So, if you, as you may or may not be aware, and you can also check this by doing ! Ironman in the chat, I'm held to certain restrictions, guidelines, caveats that I am beholden to, that are self-imposed, that both... Thank you. Have a good one. That both guardrail what I can and cannot do for this character, and ensure that the absolute psychosis of the task of trying to never die on this character, whereupon I delete it otherwise, does not fully overtake me. Some snippets, examples, if you would, are I am bankrolling this character with my main one, which is Stoic. So that's just their name in their entirety. I make it so that if this character were to die in a situation that, like, I'm in like a party situation and other people's quality of life depends on me, I'm not going to be like, hey guys, sorry, I'm doing an Ironman run. I actually have to quit out of the party now and like, you know, good luck on your journeys and like leave them with 5 people. In that circumstance, if it's close enough to the natural end of the party, I will naturally end it. I will also, or I will find a rep for myself if there's at least 1 hour remaining that they can give the rep. Then we go back home. I take off and out everything that has material wealth or substance to it from Stoic Mithra. I send it to my main, collect it, and then we take a sad like kind of death sentencey type journey together. You and I chat. We go to the website, and then on stream you see me delete my character in real time, so there's no trickery or anything. What about mustard on hamburgers? Mustard on hamburgers I do appreciate. I like them on hot dogs too. It has to be like with hot dogs, it's pretty much standard for me to do like 1/4 mustard, 3/4 ketchup, and then pretty much nothing else. I'm pretty content with that. Burgers I can handle being much more multi-layered. And it's occurring to me now that there's some kind of hidden cap to the number of condiments that I'm willing to abide on my hot dogs. I mean, there's no real reason for that. It's not like a hot dog is as long as a hamburger is wide, right? Can somebody like chop up a bunch of hot dogs and like lay them side by side and then, you know, gauge their caloric content and relative size to each other and see if what he just said is right? If you could take the time to do that, I would really appreciate it. It's no interruption, Ruffles. You could do whatever you want with your channel points as long as you're happy. That's what I care about at the end of the day. So we're gonna scout a camp first and make sure that we're in the clear that way. I am likely going to go for a spot that's right besides the outpost if I can help it, just because it's traditionally done extremely well for me in the past, and it's hardly ever camped despite it being like prime real estate. Mustard on hamburgers is default most places, but weird in New York City. Can you explain what you mean? Oh, you mean like weird as in like nobody does it. Okay. A few people did it. Every time I go into the zone, I get flashbanged. It is so like the other similarly white zones are also this bright, but it doesn't. It feels like Valkyrie Dunes is its own shade of like nuclear flash. It's just it's so bright, dude. Like if I ever go, like most of the time I keep my monitor on max brightness, right? And while the monitor does have an HDR element to it, I don't really crank it up to max, just because it seems to have a limitation on like how much of a visual improvement it makes on games. But the result of me being like 100% brightness, like 50% HDR, is that if I'm playing late at night, which I typically do Fridays and Saturdays, because I'm a night owl, I go into the zone and it's like my monitor illuminates the entire room as if I had turned a light on. Alright, you're gonna take a quick swig of silent oil and then crush up an entire plate of prism powder and then forcibly inhale it to trick myself into believing that I am invisible so I can get past these bats. I do wish at some point in the future that they would just like they don't have to adjust the cost, because I get that they're trying to push people towards Juno eventually. I get that, but like adjust the level minimums that you have to be and like the nation's teleporters, so that I can go to Valkurm at a time that would naturally make sense, instead of the way that it is now, where I believe that in Bastok, the outpost teleporter NPC wants you to be 20. And like before he allows you to go to Valkurm. I don't know if anybody just happens to know offhand if that's true or not, but that's definitely what it seemed like to me. Because he doesn't say it. He doesn't say you, because you are this level, you can go to this place. There's no text defining like what level you can be to reach certain places. It just happens to be lower in the background in Juno. But yeah, man, I mean, that's okay. You know, it's not their video game in the literal sense. But it is their private version of a game that they're developing. And I am enjoying, like, it doesn't, does the fact that I can easily OP out here whenever I want at a given level affect my experience? No, not really. The only time that it does is when there's no white mages that happen to be around or close. Which does happen in Bastok because we just happen to find the one white. Look at how fucking bright this is, dude. My God.
Wow! Congratulations!
Gotta make sure I watch my sides.
Meow, meow.
Meow.
Gotta watch my spacing. It doesn't really affect me too much if I can't warp out here at will. I do wish that it was easier. I think that I don't think that the overall experience would be hurting too much if they adjust the level minimums of the outpost teleporters to roughly match what would be like the minimum historically accepted level range that you would have to or want to be to fight things in that zone. You know, like 20 being Quiffam Island, 10 being the minimum for Valkurm, 30 would be the Yatonga, I guess. I'm thinking of Sagan. We are nearly to the position. Oh yeah, I forgot we capped here. That's convenient. I don't have to worry about running the whole gamut of losing my signet at an inopportune time. Typical streamer thing to ask. Let me know if my audio balance is fine, if I am too loud, if music is too quiet, if games sound too loud, too quiet, so on and so forth. If you say nothing, I'm going to assume that it is totally fine. I've gotten pretty good at gauging what the audio balance is probably like, and then I listen to it in post. And I think I've got the general feel down. Okay, so ideally I wouldn't want to be exactly where I am until I'm 14 at least, but we're on like the very cutting edge of 14, so as long as I populate the party with level 15s, it'll be fine. Hello. Now I'm gonna try to grab people from my link shell to party with. Level sync 13 party. Do you need it? Position Valkurm Dunes. Let's not say level 14 party. Let's do 14 tilde 15 party. Do you need it? Valkurm Dunes. Trying to find a 14 15 sync to party where I'm at. So 13 is a weird spot in the Valkurm Dunes where ideally you would want to be fighting crabs. However, when you are on the razor's edge of 13, fighting crabs is horrible because they are, according to the game files, the paladin job, which doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of what they're capable of, except that they have some defensive special moves, and they are relatively high defense-wise and health-wise, which just makes them not difficult, but annoying to fight. So we're going to be fighting flies and sheep instead, which should give us plenty of experience, and we should be able to ride this camp all the way to 16. All right, no biters, so I'm just going to form a party ad hoc. Would anyone in the chat be interested in partying? I'm going to aim to try to grab someone that's 14, 15 if I can help it, and then sink down gradually just to keep the experience consistent. It doesn't matter what job you are or anything like that. We're gonna probably make it work. I won't be able to fit like 5 bards in the party, as you might imagine, but just know that it is an option. When we're at the beginning of these streams and we're setting up a party, I'm 100% happy, willing, able to invite you. Just know that if something happens that is inconvenient to me in any way, I will become, I don't know, inconsolable. Is that the appropriate reaction to a situation like that? Something like that. I'll start malding. I'll mald and cope on stream. See all 14, 15, inv. Boom. There's other black mages out here. Let us grab this. I don't know, dude. We need a fisher person. Hello, level sync 14, 15. You need it. Position. Elkern Dunes. Now, I'm probably only gonna grab one sub-jobless person if I can, not because I'm afraid that it affects the power level of the party in any meaningful way. It's just because I want to make sure that if we grab someone, we can reliably get them sub-job items off of the monsters that we happen to be going after. Hopefully they're there and not AFK. I feel like this black mage has forgotten to change their sub-job. Black mage beast is a very atypical thing to see. See all 14, 15 in. See if anyone else popped up. Some did. Hello, level sync 14, 15. Do you need it? Position Valkyrie Dunes. And then we can grab like a Beastmaster just for fun. Need it. Position Valkyrie Dunes. Just so that we have a couple of people to sync to, possibly. That Dark Mage disappeared like instantly. So probably not. Hello, level sync 14, 15. Do you need it? No, I'll do 15 if this person joins because they're a thief, so they get a lot of power out of being 15. You need it. Position Valkyrie Dunes. So like I typically say when I'm setting up parties like this, the difficulty is not so much having people work together. It's finding the people that are looking for a group to play with that are actually present at their keyboard to receive invites. Hello. Building from scratch, maybe a minute. Okay. They say that they're going to be right here. Since we have at least one sync, we're going to expand our scope out from 15 to 25, which is the absolute maximum that people start to get a experience debuff based off of the level range of whatever the sync is. It would help if I added an invitation in here. Hello, level sync 15 party. Do you need it? Position Valkyrie Dunes. Hello, level sync 15 party. Do you need it? Position Valkyrie Dunes. Oh, good. Hello. Okay, so the people that are in Quiffum are probably going to want to stay in Quiffum because I mean, if they're there, that's what their expectation is, right? I do want to wait Okay, so somebody responded to our hails. Paladin, let's go, dude. We got a paladin, man.
Fine, I guess you are my little pogchamp.
How exciting is that? Hello. Starting from scratch. Third is telling, grabbing others. Legitimately though, getting a paladin makes me personally feel in my permadeath vulnerable situation. I feel much more comfortable now. It doesn't mean anything in terms of like the paladin's actual skill level, except the fact that they have access to a 3-hour or 2-hour that makes them invulnerable and maxes out their hate, which could save my life at like any moment. Let's grab. Let's see if any of these white mages are willing. Hello, level sync. Party, no, not 18. Hello, level sync 15 party. Do you need it? Position Valkyrie dudes. Oh, good, not worried. If you evoke and cure, that sounds just fine. Hopefully this white mage is willing to partake. I don't necessarily need a white mage. I can fill in the gaps with red mages. Okay, so let's go. Very exciting, dude.
Meow.
We got a freaking white mage. The composition is coming together. If you're not turned by this, there's something wrong with you. Hello, welcome. That'll do it. I'm getting it in up to 60, then dropping it forever after for Paladin. I'm gonna check to see where this other... Okay, so the thief that we had originally reached out is looking for a telly. That's fine. So our composition right now, black mage, paladin, white mage, thief. So we have the basic parts of any, you know, pretty okay to above average party food group. Raising it just for the cooking katana TBH, but I am having fun with it. The most grossly expensive thing I've ever done, but it has been fun. See, all 15, 25 M. So now we just need to grab damage dealers, which is easy enough because there's about like 50,000 billion of them. I don't think the paladin is going to need a +1, but we will take a look for one regardless. I do not remember what this individual is. Hi, sorry, spot is filled. Let's grab hello, level sync 15 party. Do you need it? Position Valkyrie Dunes. And then after we get 6 people, we will do our thing where we look up possible skill chains for them to do, and then we will do big burst damage off of the magic bursts from the resulting skill chains, which will be very fun and funny for sure. Especially because the SATA is, or not SATA, sneak attack wasp thing is going to be in the mix, which is always a fan favorite. But I just want to grab another black mage. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't grab another black mage, right? I mean, this Dark Knight's she's not responding to me, so I have to start making choices. Party, do you need it? Position Valkyrie Dunes. Don't have any weapons that low, but thank you. So if you're in a position where you're looking for a party, definitely put in your search comment like what your minimum floor is for expecting invites. Because if you just like raw dog it and have your flag up, people are gonna invite you without knowing that you don't have equipment for like certain level ranges. It's just a small courtesy thing. I don't know. Let's grab this 15 party. Do you need it? Position Valkyrie Dunes. Let's grab this warrior. Wave. Deb. Let's see if Eternia has found her white mage. You telling her over. She has not. Welcome. 4-6. 5th is on the way. Alright. And then we will just look for anything at this point. I don't give a shit. I just need deeps. Anybody got deeps? Anybody got deeps? Oh, level sync. 15 party. Do need it. Position Valkyrie Dunes. So since it takes relatively little experience to fully level up, at this level, I'm gonna use a chariot ring, and then that should get us to a level by the time that we experience out of the current level syncs that we're planning's level, so that we can then keep the experience consistent as long as possible over the course of 2-3 hours. Probably 3 hours if I can help it. Nano. All right. We have the Pentafecta, Black Mage, Paladin, who's probably going to be doing their own thing. Warrior, Thief. What weapon you using? Anything is fine. Just thinking of skill chains. Smiley face. You have to make sure that you put smiley faces in there when you're messaging people. Otherwise, their fight or flight instincts kick on and they perceive you as a threat. And then you gotta kind of like wrangle them down to the ground and then grab the cheeks of their face, because I have to stipulate that, right? And then yell into it, "You're fine, stop escalating." And then they calm down, and then you can explain to them what the plan is. Position. All right. Let us see. Calculator me. Or you guys should see something on the... I'm kind of partially blocking it, but... You know, you don't pay my subscription to my private server, so... 15... Oh, I accidentally disabled it. I'm a professional, I promise. 15... Warrior, Great Axe... Dagger... Thief... Gonna be wanting to end on Wasp's Sting. Oh boy. No skill chains available. Apparently there's no interaction between Great Axe and Wasp's Sting. That's exciting. Oh, Eternia's here. Let's see what Deb has. Deb has a hammer. Hello. Deb, are you up to seeing? Let me make sure that there's like actual skill chains before I ask the paladin to not like Starlight or whatever their MP regen shit is. That can't be right. There has to be an interaction between them. Am I stupid? Is the thing busted? There has to be an interaction here. Right? I'm not crazy. Calculate skill chains. That part I know is not right. Let's start over. 15, warrior, great axe. Nope, great axe. Thank you. Thief. 15, paladin, club. I knew there was something here. The website apparently bugged out. It'll be flies and sheep. Important note for mages: stay max cast distance away to avoid sheep song sleep. Give me 15 seconds before pulling. We're gonna sync to Eternia. Skill chain is what? Skill chain is shield break, sneak attack, gust slash, arrow, MB. That okay? Ooh woo.
Ooh woo.
Let us get our chariot band proc. And slam back an entire pie in front of the party. It should chunk for at least 60-70%. So it's def worth doing. Everyone here good? Seems like.
Ja pierdolę, jakie pyta!
Bober.
Bober!
You I could see you having like a timer or something, so that like the moment that it comes off a cooldown, you can hit the button.
Emotional damage!
I could see that. We do have a number of oh shit buttons in case we need it. The screen, I really need to stop doing that. Namely, we have it's gonna give me a moment while my brain adjusts to combat and speaking at the same time. It's been a couple of days, so I need it. I need like a warm-up period. You guys understand. You've been here about 800,000 billion times. You know how it goes. I have high potions that heal me for 100 and take about 2-3 seconds to activate. I'm gonna rearrange the party a little bit to make sure that they're actually following orders. Is too strong of a word, but we'll just leave it at that. High potions in case I get hit is definitely gonna matter. Friendly reminder, if this character dies, they are gone for fucking ever. I am deleting them. So I owe it to myself to make sure that I have at least 3 stray hits before I need to be actively concerned. If we're in a situation where I am actually in mortal danger after all the high potions have run out, I have or if it's a situation where I need to save the party, I have a vial elixir +1, which is the closest thing to an on-demand oh shit button as you can get that I've found. Instantly or pseudo-instantly restoring 55% of your HP and MP. I have also obtained... Seems like these are dying really fast, is that right? Yeah, we're getting pretty good experience. You also have pineapple juices in order to, you know, rely not so much on resting regen. Even though it's only 1 MP per tick, it still matters in the long run. And that it eventually becomes like 80 added MP, which is essentially like 5-6 ticks of just waiting around. Otherwise, 45 seconds of resting. Like per pineapple juice. So I'm basically buying 6, 7, 8 minutes of not having to worry about it. Do I have Poisona? I do. Let me add that. Poisona. And then we will free the paladin of their poison, because we are a good boy / cat girl. Yep. Okay, she's going. Shield break. Ooh, I hate that for me. There should be enough time. There's still like 2 seconds left. I don't know if it's gonna go off. Rough timing. There's always going to be like a wind-up period. Which happens. Look at that, we leveled up, man. It's been like 5 seconds.
Rar, X3. What's this? A whoa?
How exciting. If you and chat are not collectively gripping the sides of your chair until your fingers become incorporeal and reach into the shadow realm to grip your spirit chair, you need to get your head checked. Like there should be such a staggering level of dopamine in your flowing through your bloodstream right now that every chemist, like the hair on the back of every chemist's neck within a 100-mile radius of your being, should be like something is wrong. Something is wrong with the force. Try to keep it a little further away. South, maybe. That's good. So one of the most annoying things about these sheep is that they do sheep song. They're also like a little bit tanky, but not in any real meaningful way. Now we're kind of functioning. Do I not have paralyze on this? I don't have paralyze on this. Why? I should have paralyze on this. That's strange. I don't know why I admitted that. Let's just move this stuff over a smidge and grab the hotkey macro, that is, from here, and we will move poison over here because it's not as important as getting para early. There we go. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind, that I'm slowly gaining relevant spells. Just gonna wait for the revoke before we start casting because it's gonna matter. The only minor concern that I have with them being over there is that there's a will-o'-the-wisp that spawns like every 50 years over there. Just gonna do all the debuffs. We got all the debuffs off, like, oh. Can I please? Ah. I feel like the thief used their thing. But I don't know when. If they are up to, let's just end it. Oh, it was ended for us. These, like, it seems like we're dealing with this shit incredibly fast, and I'm very appreciative of that. Yep. Good. That's because my instinct tells me to. I'm going to slam back another pineapple juice. Very worth. Wait for the provoke. Provoke Chan. There we go. It's a shame we didn't get that off. That too. That bothers me. Please, sir. I just like a morsel of anything. Any debuff at all? Good. At least there's that. Ah. I'm fine. What are you freaking out for? Is everything is fine? So right now we're kind of acting as like a sub healer, just because the nano person, the black mage, the other black mage, seems content to just blast away, which I'm fine with. Sometimes, even if you're the black mage, if you have the capacity to heal, it is still at least partly your responsibility to make sure that the party is fine. Is it my job literally to damage deal? Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Arrow. Good. Add on load skill chain. Skill chains. Add-on's already loaded. Why couldn't I see it? 81. That's so much of the stage, dude.
Macaroni with the chicken strips.
We're gonna get a lot of mileage out of these pineapple juices. That is for true. My beverage of choice today is Rockstar Original, which to me tastes like pineapples, and that's probably what attracts me the most to it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'll just give like a little courtesy heal on the thief. Hallowed be thy name, Thief Chan. You know what? I work hard. Let's throw out a cheeky fire that did probably 1/5 of the damage that it should have. That's fine. That just teaches me that I'm functionally a healer. That's okay.
That's fine.
You know? I need to prove anything.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I am gonna rest a bit. I do need to. Pineapple juices can only give me some mileage. Multiple words trying to fight each other to get out of my mouth. Oh man, that's the stuff. I could see the endorphins churning deep in my robot bones. I'm gonna go full greed. I'm gonna go full greed on the resting. One more tick, probably do it. Apple pie +1, going a long way. Nah, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna wait for one more. That will give me the full. I think there's only like 20 left or something. Right? Yeah, look at that. The paladin has a pretty good amount of HP too. There's less need to worry. Okay. Gonna do an arrow real quick. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we ask people to keep the sheeps away. It do be mattering. I do appreciate the thief understanding that they do have quite a lot of leeway to pulling pretty much infinitely. They're also pulling pretty close to each fight, which in this situation where we can definitely handle it is obviously a good thing. Friendly reminder that I am a Twitch affiliate, so I can do literally nothing about the ads that are forced upon me, and thereby you. The only way that you can completely avoid ads is hashtag subscribing to me free with Amazon Prime, which lets you avoid ads entirely. Otherwise, clamping your hands forcefully over your own ears and shutting your eyes as tightly as you can is also an option. They're only about 90 seconds long, so it's a, you know, very first world problem. The best that I can do is have it so that I basically choose when they run. So you should only experience like 90 seconds of ads like every hour of like consumable content. I wish I could have stopped that from going off. But yeah. Incoming ad meteor in like 1 minute 30 seconds. When it is just about to happen or land, I'm going to give you courtesy heads up and be like, hey, this is a great opportunity to get up and like walk around, or, you know, take a swig of your favorite beverage, or pick your nose and eat your own boogers for at least 90 seconds. Not that I'm advocating you actually do that, it's just an option to you. You can do whatever you want. I'm tired of you giving me constant pushback that I don't let you live your life. I do. I don't know where you've got this long-standing, simmering impression that you can't just do whatever you want as long as it's within like the law, and I'm like somehow preventing you from doing that. And then after I explain this to you, you become like completely inconsolable. And then I have to spend at least the next 30 to 45 minutes taking you back from the emotional precipice of becoming borderline catatonic and you're weeping. That's a crazy impact on me, chat. You know? I'm just joshing. Ad is apparently starting soon or momentarily. Brace for impact in whatever way it pleases you. I did not want to. That's a waste of fire, man. Congratulations. One thing I do appreciate about the Apple Pie +1 is that not only does it allow you to have slightly more MP regen per tick, it also gives you a massive MP boost. I mean, all things are good about it, and it also doubles its like food uptime, which I appreciate. Even though I've never used it, I did appreciate that it was at least an option for Treasures of Aht-Urhgan Sanction, aka the Signet equivalent of the expansion, to allow you to choose the benefit of extending your food time. I don't know if anyone has actually ever picked it over having an optional refresh. They probably pick it more than the optional regen for sure. Because like, honestly, like when you're level 50 plus or whatever, boy howdy, having +1 HP regen, what a luxury during times of need. We got it, let's go.
War never changes.
Thank you. I should have more shit now, right? I do not have Blizzard. I don't know why I thought I did. What else do I have? I have to wait until 16 for Shock. Totally fine. I do not need Castilla. Sad that he did not land that Paralyze. Paralyze is very useful on these guys. Useful in general, but especially on these. Just because they hit infrequently, but they do hit hard. I behoove the Great Axe Builder to hit at least 2 more times. Save the... We're just gonna blast this thing into oblivion. Congratulations. Now you have loads of mana. Colon capital D. XD, X3. Hello, my friend and compatriot. Where'd you get the sweet, what is that? Lechonk? I knew it was Lechonk. I forgot what the name of the Pokemon was. Let's let. I do know that Lechonk's evolution is very do be kind of a hoe though. I think I might be thinking of this salamander Pokemon. Just die please. Chunky. Well, thick. Let me pineapple juice me. The last medicine that I have afforded myself, and afforded is a very strong word. Like, it was very expensive. Was a pro ether, which instantly gives me, well, pseudo instantly gives me back 250 MP. So if the party is in a really bad way, I can, but like I'm not in any immediate danger, I have a way of clawing back an instantaneous amount of help that I can then provide.
My potions are too strong for you, traveler.
So far, the party is going amazingly. I mean, with Ring, 16,000 experience per hour, we're gonna need to give, you know, the soup a little bit of time to simmer, so to speak. But it's hovering ever closer to it being 16,000. Once the dust settles, it'll probably be closer to 15, which anything over 6,000 in a Dunes party is extreme progress. Like we're what, like 45 minutes ish into the stream and party. Like that is bananas. I'm gonna get splashed with poison, right? No? Why didn't it go off? That's lucky. I mean, that was planned. All according to Kikaku.
I'm waiting.
So if you happen to be new to the channel and you have enjoyed what you have seen and or heard so far, you can make a huge impact on me and my quality of life by clicking on the little purple follow button with a heart next to it on my main page. Incidentally, it also triggers a dopamine response in me that I then coast into the next time that the follow happens. It is a chemical train that you and I board simultaneously. And then at the end of it, you know, I basically like unplug myself and crash until it's the next time to stream. The warrior is getting shit on. There we go. It does make me slightly uncomfortable that they're getting ever closer to the area where the will-o-wisp sometimes spawns. It has not spawned for a long time. It does not. What the f? Why is that happening? Why is the sand hare attack? Oh. That was an extremely good catch. Don't panic. So this Stonega that the other Black Mage cast is what pissed it off. Thankfully, it's like it's a level consistent mob. Nothing to worry about. Good reaction times. I was so confused. Like from my perspective and possibly from yours, it looked like the rabbit just started randomly aggroing a nano. I was ready to override my self-preservation instincts if it meant saving the black mage, which ties into my overall headspace of making sure that I don't allow the fact that not only am I hardcore status, but character dies forever if it dies, to like truly dictate how I behave. I'm not going to avoid doing certain things that are ultimately what I would do anyway if I were playing on a quote-unquote normal character, just because I've ascribed myself this special, you know, Iron Man status. Like, that's self-imposed. Other people don't have to suffer just because of the gimmick that I'm rolling with. I will take my medal now. Whichever one of you in chat has it. It's mine, give it to me. I deserve it. If anyone happens to be new to Final Fantasy XI in general, I am infinitely willing to help and answer your questions. So feel free to do so. The only content that I have not done is very endgame stuff, like Dynamis. The closest thing to like an endgame event or situation that I've run into is coordinating, congratulations, is coordinating the Divine Might from like Zillart mission 6 or 7. It's like a variant of the normal mission. That was amazingly fun. So I have had experience like setting up battle plans. I do think fondly of that time, to be honest with you. I mean, it was like our first attempt and we cleared it. Like, it literally cannot get any better than that. Reno remembers. He was there in the before times and the long ago when we were fancifully, you know, skipping across the landscape of the Eden private server before this one cannibalized it. And now we wait. Been going at a pretty steady clip. Our experience ring still has not worn out. I'm going to hold off resyncing until I myself am 16, or the experience ring runs out, or we hit 17. X is gonna drop a bit, but at 16, but we can write it out till 17, and I'll resync when 17. I wouldn't have wanted to have a level sync target any lower than 14, just because of how dangerous it is. Like this particular camp. Like, it may look as though like we're hot shit, and we kind of are. But that's just because we're generally prepared. No. No. Tartar taking some hits on the chin. Do be dying very fast. Thank God. This level of progression was very unexpected, though, to be honest with you, to the point, like, I thought that it was going to take all party in order for us to get to 17. It did not occur to me that we might get there in literally the next half an hour. Perhaps I've just become so used to the slow and steady pace of 50 plus leveling that it's like shocking me again how little experience comparatively like you need to get in order to level between. Like I'm not even getting through all my debuffs and we're still chunking. I got a little bit greedy there. I did. I'm casting twice like that. Easily could have been bad. Gonna get one more cheeky refresh off, I think. Experience is still really good. Without ring, that's like 215. Le chunky. I didn't shit my pants. I didn't crap my toga. You think I did? You're a liar and a varlet. I probably don't need to cast water on these. I think that I'm pretty sure these are no, they're not water-based creatures. I'm thinking of crabs. This one is definitely on the higher end of the range, though. I can probably tell. Oh, I can't tell. Yeah, it's 23. This camp doesn't give any higher than 23 monsters, which is okay. It's not a big deal. I'm just gonna keep RPing as a white mage right now. And fire to end it. And by end it, I mean like get it within like 1%. Let's go. We went through a lot of MP just then.
Potion seller, enough of these games.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
More gold is required.
How's everybody doing today? Are you pogging? I mean, that's a silly question, of course you are, but like, especially hard or just a normal amount? Good, that's good. Over 4,000 people in chat have said that they're pogging it up really hard. That's good. I figured as much. Pokemon Go. I have not partaken in Pokemon Go. I have heard very good things. I heard that the first event that they did was like catastrophic. For whatever reason, for reasons that I can't remember. I mean, the concept is great. If there was anything that would get me close emotionally to wanting to go outside in like a natural way, it would probably be Pokemon Go or something like it. Basically giving my wife the keys to the kingdom on that one. Ooh, 2 levels up. Let's go. Yeah, boy. You hit that button. You hit that button, my friend. You hit it as hard and as loud as you can. Just for you. I'm not gonna do this, so like don't let yourself believe this, but just for you, I'm so going to consider a massively bass boosted version of that. That way you can just blow out the collective headphones of the legions of people watching any moment. That sounds right. I'm actually like, as I said it out loud, I could see myself convincing myself of that, but it would have to be, it'd have to be like an Omega channel point redemption. You know, on some streams you go on there and they have like, I'll put a banana on my head for like 100,000 channel points. It'll probably be one of those. Oh, yep, sure. They have formally requested I love resync, so I'm gonna do that. Just make sure that we squeeze as much juice out of this experience point orange that we can. In addition to it probably being at least 10,000 channel points, which you would get pretty fast if you've been consistently watching as you have been. Even faster if you subscribe. Hint hint, nudge nudge, wink wink, suck suck. Probably like that'd probably be cheap for you. So like to keep it manageable, I would have to not only make the base boosted version of Bober be to at least 20,000 channel points. It would have to be on a cooldown of like 2 hours, because I know that you would spam that shit. Hey Hero, how's it going? It's going ludicrously well, to the point that I expected our journey from 13 to 16 to take the whole party. It has taken approximately 1 hour and 5 minutes. So I have to quickly think of a, where do you go like from 16? Like typically you would want to be at 17. No, we have people in the party that should be that. Yeah, we'll be fine. We can swap to Pugils, which scares the absolute Christ out of me coming out of my mouth. We can switch to Pugils at 17 probably and have no issue. This party has been very good. With Ring, it's the numbers are settling around 15,000, rounding up, experience points an hour, which is like above average into the fucking unbelievable category for Valkyrie Dunes at least. Without Ring, people are probably getting 7,000, 7,500, something like that. No one has died, which is like for the Dunes is like the barometer for like if a party is going to be going well. And they're doing skill chains, so like I literally can't complain. I mean, the Taru is kind of smelly, but you know, most Tarus typically are. I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm seeing like instantaneous whiplash in chat. Listen, if that offends you,
You suck. Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
can I just call the kettle black without, you know, all 6,000 people in chat freaking out at me? All right, fine. I repent. Fine. Okay, shut up. Shut up, I'm concentrating. It takes an enormous amount of emotional and mental energy to hold down control and press the correct number key. I need absolute concentration and silence. Are they gonna skill chain? Skill chain me? Skill chain Jan? The warrior appears to be AFK. AFK warriors, let's go. Sure. This is the warrior woke up. It's okay. It happens. You know? Sometimes people have premature skillification or skill chainification. And in this case, it was the opposite. There was like 10, 15 10-15% left on the monster bar before we did it, but that's okay. I don't need all of my tears. We successfully got off one magic burst so far. I believe that there was one skill chain that I had missed that it would have been opportune. In most cases, the skill chain being a great axe skill into a sneak attack gust slash is enough to absolutely pulverize most monsters. At least does 70-80% of their life. So it's hard to get magic bursts in there just because like the monsters only very rarely survive. So after reviewing the pretty substantial list of games that I would like to play, after semi-unceremoniously deciding that I'm just not a fan of Octopath Traveler 2, that it wasn't really doing anything for me, I gave it like 6-7 hours of play, and the pacing and the story just wasn't for me. There's my review. 7.5, too much water. But while looking at the list and deciding what variety game that I wanted to play on Wednesdays and or Saturdays, possibly if Final Fantasy XI doesn't pick up Saturdays when I do stream, I've decided that it's going to be Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown, which is a game that I did play to completion when it came out 2-3 years ago, question mark? 3+ years ago? In the ancient age of 2019. And I was randomly thinking about it and I became inspired to play it. It's because like the story is good, action is good, pulling off a barrel roll while simultaneously, you know, upending like an unidentified aircraft loving kingdom gone awry, incited to war by extremists in their government, and you're just fucking pummeling them with air-to-ground missiles, man. It checks a lot of boxes for me that I do miss. I've always been an Ace Combat fan. Nice, I have not played Ace Combat since PS2 days. Same, that's a big same from me. There was a dark age for the Ace Combat games and games like it, although there weren't that many games that were like it, to be honest. Where after the PS2, it went to, or seemed to be concentrated on Xbox, and it was around the time that they decided arbitrarily that we're gonna try to do like a Call of Duty version of Ace Combat. So like Ace Combat, I think it was Ace Combat 6? Ace Combat 6 or Ace Combat 4, I can't remember which. I think it was 6. That was the pain point where they decided that half, or like at least a quarter of the game was gonna be like on rails helicopter shooting sessions, and like the other, like there wasn't really like any open-endedness to it, and they went for like a true to earth like rendition of like current events. Like they dropped a lot of the aspects, or most of the aspects that made Ace Combat arguably special, and that they moved away from like the fake countries having like this spread of planes mixed with like planes being the focus in like conventional warfare, like modern warfare with like tanks and helicopters and shit like that, but also missing, interspersing like fucking crazy like borderline science fiction elements, such as like the Arsenal bird, which is this massive airborne aircraft carrier that is so fucking big it literally cannot land, and the only way that it can keep itself functioning is with periodic, you know, supply ships, like doing remote repairs to it and refueling it and lubricating it and shit. I'm also vaguely remembering one of the Ace Combat missions where you're fighting in like a massive desert slash barren wasteland area, and like the enemy has revealed that they have this secret weapon consisting of what is basically like the mammoth tank from Command and Conquer, like 2 mammoth tanks from Command and Conquer parallel to each other and strapped to a giant wheel, like I think it was like Axel from Twisted Metal, like just giant wheels with like howitzer cannons strapped to the sides of them, like shit like that. And then they were like, nah, what Ace Combat fans only ever wanted was on rails, like way too long helicopter Gatling gun sessions. Oh, for sure. When was the last Twisted Metal? Holy shit. I can't even cast it fast enough, dude. It dies too fast. Congratulations. Funny every time the SE lands. So we're definitely, yeah, Twisted Metal Black I think was the last one. And I think that they did like a light remastering of it for, no, it came out on PS3, but didn't they do like a remaster or something on PS4? In any case, they need to bring it back. There were other games that were like it, that copied its homework, like Vigilante 8, which I don't know how I possibly remembered that, but I did. I'm gonna thank my classic game subroutines for that. Let's see. I'm not trying to get them in too fast. Maybe we should start doing that. Anything is fine. Gambler just has to be silenced. And you're doing just fine. I'm not really sure what the other black mage is talking about by getting them in too fast. I think that he's afraid that he's landing the arrows in such a way that he's not getting magic bursts. It's a timing thing. The one Twisted Metal game that I used to play religiously, just because I had so few options as a kid, like if you went to the old video game rental store to pick up the game for the week, what a hallowed age. It's asking for spare juice. Sure. No problem, can just take. I've got 2 left. Picking up there was a Twisted Metal version, but it was like for kids. Like you played toy versions of the Twisted Metal characters. I enjoyed that. Even back then I was like, this isn't very good, but honestly, at that point, you just made do with whatever you had for the week, right? It was all about sheer survival back then. Surviving by your like 11-year-old grit. It's also how I discovered the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is also the game that caused me to do my first ever staying up all night like streak. I think that was the first time I ever stayed up like all night. I pulled an all-nighter. I actually pulled a double all-nighter. I remember getting so into Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which if you're not familiar with it, is like a turn-based version of like the Three Kingdoms period that's still ongoing like a billion years later. primarily for like PS2, but now you can find it on like PCs and stuff. But I had never experienced something like it before, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, I need to go to sleep so I can go to school. And it's like circa 9 o'clock at night, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not tired. Like I'm so enjoying what I'm doing right now. I just want to do one more turn. It was basically like, you know, it hit me like Civilization did, where I just like, just one more turn, just one more turn. I want to see, you know, what my crazy strategies are going to amount to. And then 9 o'clock became 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And I was like, I've already basically annihilated my sleep pattern. I'm still not tired. If I try to put myself to bed, I'm just going to end up laying there anyway. So I'll just keep playing until I'm not tired. And before I knew it, it was 6 o'clock. Went to school, came back home, and just got right back into gaming, baby. And still pull. And still pull. You can use this freely until war is back. That's what happened to me when I was playing Kingdom Hearts 2. It's just, it was crazy, like how much like a game like that can grip you. I was in college then, but had class the next morning at like 9 a.m. I can still pull all-nighters, but I definitely feel more affected by it. I think, no, that's not necessarily true. I think that I'm like psyoping myself. I still feel as bad doing it as I did back then. But I had way less responsibilities back then, so that is the difference that I'm actually thinking of. I'll still pull an all-nighter on occasion. The actual limiter is not so much my willingness now to pull an all-nighter as it is my dog, my precious little peanut butter princess, more or less demanding that I go to bed at a given time. It is not unusual for me to hear at the turn of 2 a.m. the little tippy taps of Princess Feet coming out to investigate what the fuck her dad is doing still on his computer at 2 a.m. and then she proceeds to tap things around me. And if that does not succeed in appearing to get me off the computer, she will go back into the bedroom and then proceed to yell at my wife for upwards of 20 minutes, barking, more or less demanding her in dog language to get up and force me to go to bed. And you might be thinking to yourself, that's insane. Like, maybe in your headcanon, she's doing that, but she can't be that intelligent. Bruh. In RP, I gently put my hands on both of your shoulders. She is that intelligent. She is a snitch. There was one time where I was just... where I got so fake mad. Because it's pretty rare for me to feel that emotion anymore. But I was borderline frustrated, man, which is like typically as close as I get now. And I took my headset off and I was like, you go to bed. If you're tired, you go to bed. And my wife was laughing in bed. She was, for some reason, awake at this point. And she heard me, like, having, like, a fake argument with my dog. Where I was, like, chasing her around the house and saying, like, you fucking go to bed if you want to go to bed so bad. I will go to bed when I'm ready. If you want to go to bed, then you go to bed. I was on Alpha Centauri and Orion 2, similar to Sid, that kept me through the nights. I have not played Alpha Centauri. I've heard good things about it. I have played Masters of Orion 2. I do want, like, and I've heard that Masters of Orion is, like, it's pretty good, but, like, Masters of Orion 1 and 2 have their own mouthfeel, for way lack of a better way of saying it. Congratulations. I do remember enjoying it. I don't think I ever figured out what the fuck I was doing or like what I was meant to be doing, but I liked it. I did be enjoying it. Our former cat was like that. If you were up after normal bedtime, she would get cranky and be like, "It's time to go to bed, please." Like my dog at least, just like the cat that you're describing, my dog at least asks nicely before, you know, she basically takes out her like metaphorical hoop earrings and is like, "Okay, fine. If you want to be like that, I can be like that." She started doing this also very fun thing while I'm in bed, where it's like I typically leave like some food near her like sleeping area, like just so that if she wakes up in the middle of the night and wants like food and water, she can have access to it like right there, so she doesn't have to go through the logistical hell of like navigating half conscious to the kitchen to get food. I know I'm a very good parent, but she's been gently tapping her dog bowl, and it's been raising some concerns in me that it's gonna form a habit of her just messing with her dog bowl instead of like actually eating out of it, like kind of like perceiving it as a toy. So I'll probably have to do something about that sooner or later. For now, it's only been like 1 night, 2 nights, but you know, it do be taking up a little bit of mental bandwidth. We definitely are going to be moving on to Hugels depending on how everyone is feeling. We actually might not need to though. The person that we had dropped has not been back for upwards of 5 minutes now, which is a typical amount of time that I like to wait before replacing. If the person isn't back in next few mobs, I'll rep. How is everyone doing on time? Everyone should be doing okay on time, I would hope, because we've only been going for about like an hour, 15 minutes or so. Not even that, we've only been going for an hour. I'm using my food time remaining as a gauge. We should be doing fine. But regardless, I want to make sure that I'm doing the party a service and making sure everyone has enough time before I try to pull a separate entity into the mix. Let's park it for like a minute for people to bio food, etc. If isn't back, I'll rep. I'm planning on going at least another hour 15 minutes plus. So I have suggested to the party that they take the opportunity while we're waiting for the 6th person to come back, that they go do their business, they eat, drink, and be merry, and then we all will converge back. I'm going to run ads now to do the same thing, and I'm also going to be right back myself to inhale impossibly fast a peanut butter sandwich probably, and use the little robot philosopher's room. The ad is going to be about 90 seconds, and we should all be able to converge back when they're over. I'll see you in a moment. I've returned. You may rejoice accordingly, in whatever manner that befits you. I am back, looking for 6. And we're gonna try to find a replacement that is going to allow us to sit right here. I mean, we're killing stuff pretty fast even without the SC. So maybe a Bard is fine. A Bard will probably be fine, right? Or maybe just to be funny, a third Black Mage? Be funny, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be funny. Hello, level sync. Party, do you... No. Level... Hello... Oh my god. Hello, level sync 14. Party, do you need it? Position, Valkyrie Dunes. So we're all... So I did not actually go for the peanut butter sandwich. There just wasn't going to be enough time. Enough time that I wanted to dedicate to the act of consuming something. Instead, I opted for a banana, which is probably the closest the closest thing to like an instantaneous food that I could find. Oh, well. In the meantime, let me check to make sure that there isn't a skill chain that we can do with just the thief and the paladin. There has to be something. It would be very strange to me otherwise. Bub? Yeah, I knew there was. Hello, welcome. Since we're missing the war, are you up to using your TP to SE. Right? Yes. We'll just wait for the confirmation. I think they'll be fine with it. Hoping they'll be fine with it. It does. Being 14 does. Sure. Okay, they are down for it. New SE since Warfriend DC'd away. Shining. Seraph. Sneak attack. When 15. Slash. And then what did that make? I totally missed it. Matka's bad. 14. Paladin. Club. Beef. Makes what? Arrow. It's still arrow. Yep. No problem. I'm gonna eat another pie. The benefit of having food is not just in that it gives you an extremely large stat buff, and I recommend that you consume food. Unless you're really monetarily strapped, you should use food literally all the time. If you're, I mean, like literally any time that you're partying, it just makes such an outsized difference. Instead of thinking of it as like an optional thing, it is something that I recommend to you to think of as like your secret. How many slots are there? 16. To think of it as your 17th secret equipment slot. That also gives you an extremely high amount of statistical difference. Until you're about 50, if you're like a melee or something, you should be slamming back as much attack food as possible. 50 plus is like the break point where if you have fairly high accuracy, this natural accuracy by doing /check param me, you can get a lot more mileage out of things like sushi or like specifically accuracy boosting foods. Welcome back. I'm going to shout him out now. Jukebox Hero is someone that I recommend that you go out to and watch. He makes a mishmash of Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 14, and then variety type stuff. I'm just gonna shout him out. Shout out Jukebox Hero. He's also an extremely nice individual that definitely deserves follows. Just a nice creative person, and we definitely need more of those in the world. Wish I had Signet, just wore off. Are you not Bastoken? Imagine being Sandorian, Lamau. No, it's fine. You can be Sandorian. You're allowed. You're allowed. Oh man. I'm just gonna wait for the party to assemble. I think we're all slowly coming back. I like how much of a difference the hardcore mentality affects gameplay. It's not quite if you die in the game, you die in real life, but the extra stipulation that I put on myself where I delete the character forever definitely makes it nearly feel that way. It's kind of a weird segue, but I was watching the movie Edge of Tomorrow, starring Tom Cruise. And if you have not seen that movie, I highly recommend it. Whether you obtain viewership of it through technically legal means, or you borrow someone's like HBO Max account, it's definitely worth 2 hours of your time. I don't know how we got there from here. I think I was just randomly thinking about how, you know, like mortality in general with the character. And then I was thinking about like the movie where like he dies. Like, I shouldn't spoil it if nobody's seeing it. If nobody's seen it, rather. I need to take a swig of my peppermint mocha creamer coffee. The dunes be dunesing today. It's been quiet in here. How many people are in this in the zone right now? 110? It does not feel like it. I remember how intensely packed the dunes was in like the first like couple, it was a good couple of months before it got remotely close to calming down. When there was like 5,000 plus people trying to stay logged in concurrently. That was a crazy time. Don't know exactly what is holding up this other black mage right now. Could be fine if you go now. Don't know how close Zill is to getting here. So yeah, when we do Ace Combat 7, it's most definitely going to be on Wednesdays. I do intend to play it through to completion. One, because I know that I like it, just like I like any of the other. Where did he go? I need to leave party. Be right back. Okay. Just because I like it in the same vein as like the other bona fide Ace Combats, but because, you know, the viewers do be loving things that explode. And what is Ace Combat but like 50,000 things exploding? Like, you just love it. You love the sight of blood. You never shut up and chat about it. Constantly asking for more explosions. Oh, he was probably, that's probably what he was doing. He was probably leaving so that he can tele back. My guess. Let's run a quick poll in chat of favorite beverages, just because I'm spontaneously curious. Poll. Favorite beverage. Pepsi. Understand that these are the only real choices. Pepsi, Rockstar, I mean, is there anything other than that? Coffee, Pepto Bismol. What would be the fifth thing that humans normally drink? High quality Dr. Pepper. Okay, we'll put Dr. Pepper in there. All right, 3-minute duration, go. And then I should be able to see the poll results in my chat thing. It did not do it last time. I'm gonna also vote. I do like coffee. Dr. Pepper is like is borderline fine to good, I would say. If I had to put like a pin on it, it's the 7.5 too much water of carbonated beverages. I will absolutely go out of my way in order to like in order to get one if like the choice is available to me. Yep, we will. I'll unsync now while we wait for Nano. Oh, he's here. Wait. Oh, you snuck up on me. I will go out of my way to pick up a Dr. Pepper on occasion, just to like make sure that there's like a little blip in variation between the different things that I'm consuming. Would I go out of my way in order to obtain it? If Pepsi or like peppermint mocha creamer was available to me? Probably not. But I do respect it. I understand the mouthfeel difference that it provides. We'll just resync now, it's fine. Who gives a shit? Shocked. Okay, so while I'm waiting this incredibly long time, let's check to see where he is. Left my set and my mug. Love it. Nano appears to have black screened. Can anyone else see him? Coffee 1, let's go.
That's fucking teamwork.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
We'll give him a moment before just starting, TBH. We should be fine if we stay away from the 23s if you have the... And even then, we'll probably still be fine. I like this song a lot. Game Chops is an excellent label that pays for licensing for people to do remixes of songs that would normally be content ID matched into oblivion, and then provides them to streamers such as myself totally free of any risk of being content ID matched. It was an absolute pain to drill down and music of any kind that fits that qualifier, but their whole discography is full of it, and all the remixes are super good. It honestly reminds me of Overclocked Remix, which is still a thing, but just like whereas like Overclocked Remix is basically like make sure that you've obtained all the permissions that you need, probably personally from not only the remixer, but the person that originally set it up. Everyone else here good? I want to get started. It's too much waiting. I should have never let them rest. See, turn. Tries there. Is Deb's there? He turns good. Okay. Alrighty. Feel free to grab stuff. I'll be +1ing as sub heal. Persona 5 was also a game that I really enjoyed. I did not play the Royal version. It's not Royale. It's Royal. But I have heard very good things about it. If only because it's literally more Persona 5, which everyone loves. They went really far west, concerning me a little bit. A little spooky. A little spookers. Ah! Ah! I'm not scared, you're scared. I just want to blind you. Can I not blind the sheep? Is that unavailable to me? I'm way too close. I need to be further away. At least 15 meters to avoid sheep song. Holy shit. Why was he up there? What the fuck? I didn't even notice he was up there. That'll do it. Gonna wanna stay back here, lol. Oh. Help me? Oh. Fuck. Alright, we have to kill this thing quick. I'm gonna spam. Spamming. Spamming. What? Oh boy. Was he meleeing? It didn't even occur to me to check to see if he was there. No, we were fine. We were fine, TVH. It's just the chances of the Taro getting completely obliterated was super high. Anytime you're not casting, you'll probably want to be resting XC. Water, tap, New York City, no ice. The only time I regularly drink water is right before bed as like a palate cleanser for toothpaste. I definitely should be drinking more water. I do like to gaslight myself that I'm getting enough water, at least incidentally, through the crazy amount of coffee that I drink. You know. Yep, I see him. He's probably waiting for a telly. That's my favorite beverage. Yamakat says they say that you're supposed to drink water as soon as you wake up. I cannot I genuinely believe that makes sense and that is something that I should absolutely do. I also think that they say that you should drink like 6-7 glasses of water a day or something. Not only would I feel like I was gonna explode, but water just doesn't do enough for me that I could rationalize, outside of it being like a self-improvement thing for me. Like if my goal was to be like, okay, I'm going to build appreciation and endurance for the time that I have like coffee and stuff like that, and being able to willfully do without, I could swing it if that was the headspace. Water by itself is poison. You need electrolytes or whatnot to process it. Bro, electrolytes is what plants crave. We're back 1 sec, grabbing a drink. All right, we've reclaimed our third black mage, so we're gonna get this going soon. I suppose that, you know, it's reasonable that the universe would have arranged events in such a way that if we were getting crazy high octane experience virtually uninterrupted for upwards of an hour, that there would be an equal exchange, equivalent exchange a la Full Metal Alchemist in terms of, you know, party experience after that. That there would be like 30-40 minutes of fucking nothing happening. Okay, leaving Juno, first time on Chocobo, Rolandberry Fields, right? Motherfucker, what? Alright. Yes, Rolandberry Fields, Paschow, Marshlands, Onstadt. It does pain me that he's chocoing out. Once the thief is back. What's your TNL XE? Once the thief is back, we're gonna have to pull. I cannot wait. 20 minutes of vibing, of Bing chilling, waiting for him to choco all the way out here before we start again. All right. Once Etern is back, we'll just keep going. Waiting 15-20 mins for Nano to Wolves. We will survive the 15-20 mins until Nano gets here. Toxic, I meant. Yeah. I get what you mean. There could be ways that I could swing myself into enjoying water more often. And that there are like food, like flavoring drops and stuff that you can put in them. I mean, back when I was consistently into my quote high intensity regimen unquote, I did make it a regular habit of drinking water whenever possible and having coffee be like the nice thing that I provide myself. Yeah, if you skip out, you may have like bladder issues. Yeah, I definitely experienced that at least once. So I do make sure that I stay like reasonably hydrated. Nowhere to the extent that I should, according I would imagine, according to any vitamin lord out there, forgetting the technical term for the vitaminologist. What am I thinking of? Dietitian? I don't know. You guys are smart. You'll fill in whatever the blank is. We'll definitely be able to survive on 5. At 14. I'm gonna sink to 16 until Ixie is 15 or Nano gets here, whichever comes first. That sounds reasonable to me. Nutritioner. Vitamin God. incoming spiel. If you happen to be new to the channel and you like what you've seen so far and would perhaps like more of it, whether by content or hearing me blab about different things, press the purple follow button on the main page. It not only helps people find other people that might be interested in what I do or like the general feel of the channel, but it also puts the closest thing to a smile on my very robotic face. I mean, I got no, this is not a smile. I can't swing it. It's definitely a carbon neutral expression. My manufacturers or whatever felt like this is like an innately vibe checking face. I've got resting robot face. Alright, turning his back. And we are going. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I have to make sure that I'm out of sheep song range. It would suck if I'm not. Alright, since they just provoked him to cast fire, because there's no way that I'm gonna attract enough tension. Holy shit! Oh yeah, the paladin is getting beaten up so bad. I feel like this is a 22, am I right? 21. Just need to finish it before it does anything else stupid. There we go. That wasn't so bad. So we talked about this ultra briefly the last time that we streamed. After I get my main character 260 on Ninja, specifically for Hocho, the cooking katana, and to break the second limit break so I can get my level cap raised to 65, I'm going to send myself back into the dunes / Baburmu yet again and roll with a level 10 paladin all the way to 75. But what will make it spicy, I'm sure, is that as of writing, I am planning on trying to make Greatsword Paladin work. I believe that it's going to be effective to the extent, based off of how I'm going to approach it, that it's going to be fine without adversely impacting the experience of the people I'm going to be partying with. They may meme on it, and I would not behoove them if they did so, but there is rationalization for running Greatsword Paladin. The only angle of it that has been difficult for me to stomach is that I'm going to be losing out on Shield Bash. Shield Bash is a very good... Congratulations. Shield Bash is a very good like situational way of pulling hate back onto you, and that it instills an almost provoke level of enmity, aggro, hate, whatever your parlance, in the monster. It briefly stuns them and does a little bit of damage, but primarily you shield bash as a hate tool. Like you can get frisky with it and land, you know, the occasional interrupt, which is easier after you've had a lot of experience with Blue Mage with headbutting, which I have. Like eventually you do develop an almost sixth sense for when the monster is probably going to use a TP move and get off like a reliable stun on the TP move like 50% of the time. So yeah, missing out on Shield Bash is going to be a pain just because Dark Knights have exclusivity over They have exclusivity over Weapon Bash. So like you are giving up Shield Bash to do that. I mean, you still be able to control hate pretty effectively through the other tools that you have. But the primary justifier for me rolling with Greatsword is going to be a specific food that has tight, like, that fits this really bizarre mix of defense boosting fish food with accuracy boosting fish food. Ikra Gunkin gives you defense, accuracy, dexterity, vitality. Each point of dexterity as a two-handed weapon, which is what Greatsword is, gives you a point of accuracy. Each point of accuracy effectively is like halved skill chance. So at level 10, Ikra Gunkin is giving you, or would give me, like 10% more hit chance and a substantial amount of defense on top of it. Would it make up for the absence of a shield and shield blocking and stuff like that? Probably not. Would missing shield bash be a pain point? For sure. I use regularly shield bash, especially when it makes sense. Rest in peace, earphone users or headphone users. This thing is pretty strong. Going to consume a pineapple juice. I'm just going to spam healing on the paladin. If I need to manathon in order to make a point, I will. That's okay, we got there. It was a little scary, but we got there. So like the vitality and the defense and dexterity mix and so on and so forth are going to make a massive difference in justifying Greatsword. So why would I want to justify Greatsword? So Greatswords have, out of all of the jobs that can equip Greatswords and have skill with it, the three are Dark Knight, which is A-, Warrior, which is B+ for some reason, and Paladins, which is B. So at a difference of 75, the Dark Knight has naturally, if capped, 10% more hit chance than the Paladin would at 75 with a Greatsword. What makes it a difference, what makes a difference is two things. Food absolutely is going to make a difference throughout. There's also the argument that doing more damage over time with the Greatsword, as long as the hits are landing, and by like adding Greatsword weapon skills into the mix in skill chains, could contribute enough hate retention and damage, speeding up the experience points of the party, to validate the difference. Weirdly enough, despite Paladin having B scaling and Warriors having B+ scaling, only Paladins and Dark Knights get unrestricted access to all Greatsword skills. There's also a number of Greatswords that, like a surprising number, like more than you would think, of Greatswords that are specific to Paladins. Not just like a Dark Knight Paladin twofer, like literally only for Paladins. Like, you can't sit there and tell me that Square Enix didn't at least somewhat design it to be as part of their build. And people are honestly so scared of perception to try to figure out like why. Like, is there something there? I've only ever heard of, not seen, but heard of one other paladin to date that has rolled with a greatsword. Is there a reason for that? Yeah, for reasons that I just mentioned. But I do be doing the theory crafting, and I will make a best effort to go down the rabbit hole and burn money to do so, to see if there is something there that's like lying under the surface. I'm not afraid to do that. The chat has exploded into rancorous applause and agreements. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that we're all on the same page. I'd be surprised if you weren't. We're gonna, you and I today are going to be across our mutual congress are going to be deciding the future meta of Horizon 11. This is history making, folks. We're setting a precedent that's going to last through thousands of hours of playtime. Think about that. Think of the gravity of this moment. It's just you, me, this really pissed off damselfly, God, and trend setting. I mean, this is what I've always appreciated about you guys, is that you're willing to be on the cutting edge of the socio-cultural zeitgeist that underpins Final Fantasy as a whole. Relations, hold for rethink. Welcome, I know. Hold for. I know. It says. So the black mage that has returned after about 20-25 minutes round trip says that they are in the dunes. Does not appear to be the case. Maybe my add-on is wrong. No, it still says that they're in Kronstadt. There they are. It just took them a fucking eternity to load. Nope, I definitely missed it. There's no way. What was that? Distortion? Did it do distortion? The green swirl? That's ice, water. I don't like or understand if there's any complaint that I have about Horizon, all the rest of the experience has been phenomenal. However, the fact that they have changed the skill chain properties of some weapon skills has only served to be frustrating. It's not a lot. It's not a big change, but it is substantial enough that it has affected me, and that the add-ons, the calculators that I'm using in order to tell what is going on in a weapon skill situation is not always the case. Like, am I missing something? Was there like some end game skill chain that people were doing that was considered so horrifically powerful using these combinations? Like, was there some kind of like exploitable damage calculation that was happening with like Shining Strike that caused them to change the value? Like, what the fuck? You just change it back. Like you're already different enough in your changes to not be messing with perhaps arguably the most confusing aspect of the game. Like if you're not familiar, look up skill chain chart and see for yourself the absolute state of it. Like Final Fantasy 11 skill chain chart. Too much. I say no. I say no. I mean, like, skill chains. Like maybe they were worried that because of like the relative buffs that skill chaining got. And like the boosts in magic accuracy, I think, and the extension of the window. The extension of the window to do the magic burst in. Was like too much, and then they're just like, one of the developers is like, we'll just have a little giggle mate and just change the properties of like avalanche axe just for fun, so we can say that it's era plus. Like, no, don't do that. Just revert it, please. Please, I beg of you. Needs silence. Holy circle. Stonega. I love that for me. Got out of range there, just in the nick of time. Do we have anyone that's missing sub-job items? No, we don't. Guess we just pulled this for fun. I mean, it is kind of in the way. It's not like a bad choice. And we do have a pretty psychotic amount of I'm gonna resync to 14. Old pull. Now that we have the whole crew back. Did it take us almost 30-40 minutes to get back to a 6-person state? Yeah, but that's just how Final Fantasy 11 rolls sometimes. If there's any weakness that Final Fantasy 11 has, is that it is so community dependent, so social dependent, to the extent that having one person be unavailable for XYZ reason crazy throws off the power level of your party. All right, let's resync here. And now that we're at 6, especially with 3 black mages, we're in a very good spot. Thank you. Sorry, I was out of AoE. Good to go. I mean, I was concerned this whole time that the Will-O-Wisp would appear. Maybe it's something that only appears during fire weather. That would explain why it's missing like 95% of the time. Should be able to handle anything. No. Asterisk. Player's doing good. Paladin is doing very good. White Mage is also doing good. I mean, even given the fact that there's been a huge blank spot where nothing was like really happening, the experience per hour is floating around 7,000, which is ridiculous to me. It is so good.
No.
Ah! I'm not scared, you're scared.
Slow down, I'm gonna spurt. Sorry.
This fly is very angy. It's a very angy fly. Healing. I have the white mage now. I just need to fucking kill it. The other game that I was thinking of playing and may play after Ace Combat 7. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to complete that. My guess is like a few weeks, maybe couple to a few weeks if I crunch away at it on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Perhaps a little bit longer if it's just Wednesdays. The other game would be Valkyria Chronicles 4. We heard that you like anime in your World War II, so we put World War II in your anime. Genuinely great story. The only issue that I had with Final Fantasy Valkyria Chronicles 4 is the way that they want you to build relationships with your team members, and that as opposed to it being like a Fire Emblem-y type thing where the more that you fight with them or the more that you group them together, the more likely that you'll unlock like paralogs and stuff like that. That's fine. It is like how you unlock paralogs and then their hidden abilities or like power them up or whatever, because they'll have like all the characters have strengths and weaknesses. You have to deploy them. It's not even playing with them or in like a specific group. It's literally just deploying. So if you want to unlock paralogs as efficiently as possible, you just spend as much mission time as you can get away with just deploying over and over and over and over again to unlock. Other than that, all the voice acting is good. The graphics are amazing. You know, it's like the watercolor-esque style that they had. The strategy is great. Even on higher difficulties, because I think it had difficulty, the game was still fair. I didn't actually beat Valkyria Chronicles 4, but I think that I got close once. So, playing it on stream would give me all the excuse in the world to actually, go back and finish the job.
Mission complete.
It always deceives me how pretty this game is sometimes, like if you're just looking around at the environment. I mean, having the HD upscaler definitely helps. Like, I don't know, man, there's something about the palm fronds in the background, the relative calm of like the tinted sands, the gentle sway of like the JPEG plants. This kind of hits different. Paralyze me. Got all the debuffs off in record time. Let's go. The Black Mage is about to fucking die. These Tarus are so fragile, man. They're just little babies. They don't know nothing. Just keeping them alive is hard enough. Let's say that we're gonna push it to probably another 45 minutes. That seems fair to me. I think most people in the party would agree with it. Now, because it's Friday, what am I gonna do after the stream ends? Probably just more Final Fantasy 11, but on my main. I mean, that's what my intention is. Maybe take like a little break to do something else for a bit, but my principal concern is that bizarrely, at almost like clockwork, at almost like clockwork at 10:28 or just about, my stream has been experiencing random extreme bit rate loss and or death. I have no idea what the source is because typically my stream is extremely stable all the way through, and then it's just been randomly happening that like it just shits its pants. I have spoken to my ISP. They are gonna Stonega. I hate that. Gotta say it a blood. Okay, good, we killed it. Congratulations. Will be a lot smoother now. $15 is definitely the sweet spot here. I spoke to my ISP and their suggestion, which I knew was coming, even though I figured that it probably wouldn't help. Their suggestion was Lamau just unplug it and plug it back in, which is fine. They have to be able to list or note that they did that or that I did that first, so I get that. I've not streamed until today since I had that conversation. That was like on Wednesday. It was on Thursday. I'm rapidly losing. No, that was on Tuesday. Yeah, that was on Tuesday, but we ended the stream on Wednesday around like 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard. So like there wasn't enough time, enough lead for the problem to actually happen. But just as a fun little experiment, we'll see if it happens here. This is a very angry sheep. I must go consider Valheim for variety game. The variety game's already been chosen, Ruffles, if you did not hear me constantly talking about it for upwards of half an hour. Variety game is Ace Combat 7, man. After that, though. Probably. Besides, you probably like Ace Combat 7 because it has like war stuff going on. And you like war stuff. Have you played? Do you know what Ace Combat is? Or like are aware in any respect, like any of the games? Okay, good. It's definitely worth being aware of. But Ace Combat 7, unlike its It's awful, awful, truly awful, bad, bad, super bad, stinky predecessor. Ancestor, that's the word. It's really good. It's a return to form. It seems to be doing okay. Goodbye, friend. 1,000 blessings upon your house. Anyway, so I'm basically supposed to report back that if the issue happens again, that they look more deeply into it and possibly set up something like a modem monitor, whatever form that takes, to make sure that mine isn't the problem. Link, grab damsel, zone other. Zone other. If I bind, I die. Hopefully they live. If they die from the link, then the other will despawn. I do believe that I do have elemental seal. So that was a possibility. But as long as the paladin didn't do anything to be put on the hate list, as soon as the thief despawns, or as soon as the thief zones, it should despawn. And I'm also praying that they live, because I basically made the call that they should zone. If I had elemental seal bound them, it probably would have been fine. But I don't know if we would have been able to kill the fly fast enough before it wore. Like, elemental seal bind only lasts for like 60 seconds. Okay, they did make it. Good. Let's go, validated.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Good job, yeah. See, if there were two different ways that you could have approached that situation. The one is obviously elemental sealed bind, but there was enough going on in that general situation that I didn't know if the paladin would know to do something like cast. Like, what do they even have at this level? They don't have flash. I don't know what they would have done. Basically, like, they wouldn't, unless they had swung at the fly in order to be put on its hate list, and then they already used invincible, so that wouldn't have even been an option. Basically, try to put themselves on the hate list by auto-attacking, switching targets, and then cure bombing in order to steal hate back onto themselves. The chances of me dying in that situation where a elemental sealed bound are perhaps higher than they would have appeared. How's the party going? Any close calls yet? No. Not for me. The Taro, one of the Taros that we have collected attempted to melee with a staff, and upon casting a little bit too liberally, found themselves fucking owned by having the paladin lose hate for like a microsecond, the sheep turning around and then deleting the Taro back to the Shadow Realm with like 160 damage crit. I mean, the Taro definitely learned. He learned today that he should be back here where we are. He has not attempted to melee since. which is perhaps for the best. You good? The party's great otherwise. I mean, we're floating. In the beginning, we were doing about 15,500 experience an hour with ring, obviously. So about 7,000 plus without. Also amazing. Then it was kind of like stop and starting for a bit as, you know, people went through the revolving door of I'm gonna grab something from Juno real quick, and then that leads into I'll be right back, I'm gonna go grab some food, and then that led into there's still probably enough time, I'm gonna go back and get Signet. So, you know, typical Final Fantasy 11 party stuff. But now we're back in the saddle, baby. I do love this camp. Literally, whenever I have an opportunity to, I come back here. 15 is the Goldilocks of the camp, the Goldilocks level. Even though I'm not gonna get the most mileage out of it, I'm gonna eat the melon pie. The goal we've already hit. I had set my standards apparently like way too low. So my aim was 16. We hit 16 like 45 minutes, like from 13, 45 minutes into the party. So the new goal is probably gonna be like 18. There's no intended cutoff for the stream.
Hey,
because it's
pretty good.
Friday. Like I'm not bound to stopping at any particular point. Where we stop and when is more or less going to be determined by my ISP, who have said on record that they are not throttling me in any way. But we'll see when 10:28 rolls around. Eastern Standard, if I start having extreme bitrate loss that lasts for upwards of 20 minutes to the point that, holy shit, that's a 135 damage lamb chop right there. So we'll see if the stream gets ended for me, because it's like it basically becomes unwatchable at that point. It's happened the last few times and is a new thing. It is a new pattern. If it doesn't, I mean, I did what they asked me to, which was basically like unplug it, and plug it back in. LMAO. So I'm not an internet lord. Maybe that did solve it. Did you turn off the Horizon upload share for downloads? What is that? What does that mean? Did you turn off the Horizon upload share for downloads? Oh, you mean I forgot that it's like a torrent based thing? Is that what you're talking about? Like the torrent in the background? I don't think that it should. I don't think it should affect anything, because I have like a very high internet plan that is supposed to be capless, so they shouldn't be doing anything. I should be able to run it 24, like run the uploader 24/7 and have no issue. But just in case, I'm going to turn off enable seeding installer. See if that helps. All hail dolphin.mp3. Thank you for reminding me that that exists. I would have thought that if that could be tied into the problem, it should have happened the other times I've streamed, because it's only been the last 2-3 times that I've had this very specific extreme issue happen. But it could be, I don't know, maybe if they change something to the launcher in like the last like week and a half or so, that's just like really pissing it off. Just making it borderline inconsolable. do be good intel. I'm amazed that they resisted the poison. Like, they don't have any poison resistance on them. Yeah, boy.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow!
It's fucking...
Incredibili!
It's gonna hit all these.
Oh my god! The One Piece is real!
I have so many sounds on my soundboard that I sometimes forget. Like, I sometimes forget just how many I have and like how many that I tend to use just because I happen to like them the most.
Bingo!
Oh, baby, a triple! Oh, yeah!
Nope, that's the wrong element. I'm still gonna roll with it though. So used to casting fire. I'm not even, it's not even becoming muscle memory for me to pay attention to my own magic bursts. To my own skill chain that I set up. What a frickin' noob.
Bingo!
5 points!
It's time to stop!
We've been clearing these mobs pretty effectively. Like 15 is, for this camp, is just, it's chef's kiss in the sense that you're clearing stuff very fast, but you're also getting the most mileage out of the experience. Like, the mobs are still annoying, but if you have a pretty good tank, they're not that bad. And we do have a very good tank. Healers.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Healies.
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
Next skill chain, I'm gonna get it. Oh my god. I'm gonna get the magic burst stuff. I swear. Oh my god, this thing needs to die. Just die. Just die. Congratulations.
Catch me outside, how about that?
If anyone cares to look up from their phone or look to their second screen and type acknowledging as much, how is the game audio balance in comparison to the music? I did raise it slightly after listening in on my own VOD. I kind of like sussed it out myself, and it was very slightly low, so I upticked it once or twice, I can't remember. It's not exactly like mission critical to hear the ebbs and flows of auto attacks, but I don't know, it does something for me at least. I'm gonna be greedy and grab one more tick. There we go. Ad warning in like 3 minutes. As previously stated, Twitch forces me to run ads. If I had the option of running no ads at all, I would have selected it. Because they are antithetical to trying to grow a small community, of which mine qualifies. The only way to get rid of ads in their entirety is to subscribe free with Amazon Prime. I think it sounds alright, but I think having 3 different sources is hard to balance. I agree. It looks about right. It's like very solidly in the green. It looks about right. I'll listen into it later. There is a definite threat of over-focusing on the audio balance to the point that your balance was fine, but that you, like through your excessive tinkering, you actually throw it off balance. So I'm just gonna elect to not, holy shit. Going to elect to not worry about it. That's 1 dead thief. 175 damage. I mean, there's only so much that you can do about that. That's cheap out with a bang. 175, only so much it can't do about that. That was a very heavy hit. That thief got chunked for almost from like 80% to 0. Will-o-wisp spawn behind you may be better for future fights. You fight at wall. Stay a little south. Behind Deb. That's okay, we needed to rest up a little bit. I'm gonna take a swig of my Rockstar energy drink, original flavor, not sponsored. So, I was, perhaps this is not a surprise, maybe it is. It was a surprise to me that it happened at all, but I did get offered a sponsorship by Raid Shadow Legends. I'm not joking. It popped up in my email, and they more or less wanted me to convert my entire channel into like a Raid Shadow Legends channel for at least like 2-3 streams, something like that. Ads are imminent, by the way, if they're not happening already. Brace for impact. But I mean, I declined. It wasn't that much money that they gave me, which makes sense because at the time, I was even smaller than I am now, and it just shocked me that I guess they're just literally going for any hanging fruit at all. Anybody that will take it. You know, like your first like few months as a streamer, based off of all the research that I've done, is the time in which you determine the most strongly what your general vibe is going to be, what your scheduling consistency is going to be, what your reliability and reputation as a streamer is likely going to pan out to be. And it would have been so bad. Yep. It would have been so bad for a combination of those elements for me to mislead future people into believing that I'm a Raid Shadow Legends channel, which is what would have happened even if at a part. I'm sure that even though it gets memed on a lot, it is a good, competent game. But I am resistant to playing anything that has any sort of possible predatory microtransactions in it. I feel like that might be the case with Diablo 4. So we'll see how I feel as, like, you know, as Blizzard, I'm sure, considers introducing microtransactions after the review period is over. I've never played it, but it's impossible to not know about it. Agreed. I mean, fucking angry video game nerd took a Raid Shadow Legends steal, right? That shocked me. I don't know why it shocked me necessarily, but it did nonetheless. I'm sure that its reputation as like a meme of being like prevalent and everywhere is over exaggerated as for like its actual quality as a playable experience. The closest thing to a gacha game that I played was like an anime game. I can't remember what it's called now. It was some turn-based anime game that was like science fiction, sci-fi. It was talked about a lot. It wasn't Genshin Impact. It was pretty popular and probably still is. I can't even look it up. I can't even go on Google and look it up, because if I type the combination of elements that comprise it, I'm gonna come up with like 8 million different search results. But I mean, it was fun. It was fine. And then I got into the PvP mode where, you know, obviously there was no real restriction on like what people can bring to the table. And I was absolutely slaughtered. I was butchered in real time, as was my impression that I could outcompete other people, you know, just on the basis of skill, which I knew was probably something that wasn't going to be realistic to expect, but I would have thought I would have at least had a chance, given that there was like a whole ranking system and thing involved. Full disclosure though, even though I'm not going to be sponsored in any way, probably, at least for a good while, I do intend to give a shot to Honkai Star Rail. I don't think it's going to be like our variety game, which has already been decided to be Ace Combat 7. But it is something that I'm going to be trying, because apparently they're releasing on the Epic Game Store. It's a science fiction-y turn-based take on the element systems from Genshin Impact. And if there's one, even though Genshin Impact is a gacha game, the developers at least are trying to portray that they are the good guys of the predatory mobile game gacha market, in that their systems have allegedly an above average amount of fairness to them. We got to 18, let's go!
KO! First blood. Monster kill.
I am the Senate.
18's real big. Hot dog. Boy howdy. We done did it. When I started the party, I did not expect us to get to 18. 17 was a stretch in my eyes. But that also means that we fulfilled our goal, which was getting Stoic Mithra to 18 on Black Mage. For 2 reasons. Making sure that she's at that 18 halfway point to end on the perfect sub-job level for White Mage, if I ever decide to raise it to 37. I don't know if I'm going to... I'm at a crossroads right now. It's a very first world problem to have, but I don't know if I want to have her continue on as a White Mage to 25, which is what I originally intended, so that she can then get Sneak and Invisible, or level up Monk instead, getting it up to what is my brain trying to tell me right now? Getting Monk up to 9, and then Warrior to or 10, probably 10, and then Warrior to 20. Then Monk back to 18, and then warrior to 37, and then samurai to 75. Just because I love the way that Mithra hold Great Katana so much. That is, in my head canon, Stoic Mithra is supposed to be a samurai eventually. That's supposed to be like their shtick. If she lives that long. She'll definitely live that long. For sure. We're gonna get 75 to every job without ever dying on this character. Stoic 2023. About 20 minutes left in me, so we can call it once you're leveled, if that's okay with everyone else. Like, trying to get like a buffer doesn't even matter, because once this character dies, she's dead forever. So ending it literally as close to 18 as I possibly can get is fine. If in the extremely unrealistic circumstance that this character ever dies, I'm going to I'm gonna probably I'll do it as a poll. I'll see where what race people would want me to pick next. If I had any choice in the matter, I might be able to influence it by, you know, voting and turning it into like a kangaroo court myself. I would probably choose Stoic Elven, apparently, if I already have the name mapped out in my head, and make them like a Dark Knight, because I do like the way that they hold great swords. Would think if the goal is to get to 75, starting over with melee is going to be longer, so you would have to factor that in. That's true. Honestly, the goal is just to fuck around. That's the current that's like underpinning the whole thing. But like it wouldn't be too bad. I'm just like, honestly, it's just following the utility path that I had originally set for my main character, which was get all of the utility type shit out of the way. 18 black mage, 25 white mage. Holy shit. 25 thief. I'm not gonna get thief on this character. I don't have that. I don't have that level of patience. We'll see if she survives to 75 samurai, and then we'll have a conversation. Just Chat and I over like the next steps, like, you know, how we should help develop our character next. If that's the case, Sam, for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Honestly, if she deserves surviving the dunes on like 3 more jobs, she deserves to do whatever she pleases. She can live her life however she wants. She has gone through her gauntlets. So far, bitrate health looks good. It's such a bizarre thing about that problem that I was referencing before, is that like all the way up until that specific point, it's almost like someone further up the chain just starts like mass downloading porn or something from like 80,000 different torrents at once, and the amount of naughty videos that they are downloading at the same time is so abhorrent and extreme that it tanks the rest of the network for everyone that's even tangentially connected to it. Sounds like you have a lot of experience, Stoic. Shut up.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Betrayal.
You can't talk to me like that. Alrighty. We can call it there. Excellent job, all. Okay, maybe one more. No. Lot on whatever you want. No, it's not me. It's not me. This time. You know? Like the Backdoor Sluts 9 series is a great series. You know, in between all the bangification, there's like a story thread that's honestly compelling. 10 p.m. we know what Stoic is doing in the stream jobs. Yeah. No, I must remain pure in the eyes of Altana. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I might do that. I mean, if I mean, it's so different than like a hot tub stream, right? All right, the party is fragmenting, so that is our cue to get out of here. Take care. I do not have the luxury of death warping. Was I smart enough to get an instant warp? Instant warp? Was I not smart enough? I was smart enough to get my hardcore 18 dagger cosplay item. I was dumb, wasn't I? I can use conquest points or guild to warp back from here. That's a non-issue. That is a pickup though. Oh sure. I did not get the war quest yet. I don't actually know if I have enough fame to do it. I think you need 2 fame or 3 fame. I did not do the thing where you shove 800,000 pieces of corn into an old man in Solvina. I have not participated in that venture yet. Yeah, that's fine. I'll use Gil me. I probably will need to do that. I'll probably want to do that anyway. If we're gonna be content with continuing this pleasant fantasy of us taking this character to 75 on every job, we should treat it as if she's gonna get there. So probably doing the corn thing is probably gonna be best. Or moss. Depending on how much juice that we squeeze out of the auction house. Get this garbage out of here, man. Yeah, but for once, nothing really borderline catastrophic happened. I mean, that's kind of been the luxury of being the black mage, is that you're not really beholden to regularly put yourself in as dangerous as a position as a white mage normally does or needs to. What is the warp quest? Let me see. Warp. Scroll. Classic. Mean Machine is what? Fast Luck Reputation 2. That's not very much. Unlucky Rat. Isn't he upstairs? No, I missed it! I think he's downstairs, right? Gunpowder room? He is downstairs. I'll talk to him and see if he says anything to me. You go away for now. He might actually talk to me. We'll see. Thermite Refinery. Unlucky Rat. Do you wish to have words with me? He does not want to talk to me. Does he need to say anything different? If I remember correctly, he needs to... He muses about how to oil the machine, but does not ask you for anything specific. He's not talking about oiling the machine. Which I just happen to know means that he's not interested. So I'm at fame level 1. So maybe if I shove like 5 stacks, 4 stacks of corn into the man, that'll make him happy incidentally. Unlucky Rat will just phone up the guy that's in Solbina and be like, oh yeah, this guy is, or vice versa. Be like, yeah, this guy is really good. He gave me like 8,000 pieces of corn. You should consider giving him a utility item. This makes a comment about oiling machine. I mean, since I'm waiting 20 plus minutes anyway as like a fuck it, we'll do it live test, like a combat ready test of the bitrate issue that I've been having, I'll do it. I'll grab corn. I mean, there's nothing that says premium content more like just absolutely going to town on an elderly gentleman with cobs of corn. Like at the very least, we might be able to get some corny jokes out of it. You know, might be able to pull some funny statements. You know, if you guys feel like lending me your ears. You know? Maybe if I give him enough corn, he'll promote me to colonel. That's right. That's right. You love it. I need to be smart about this. I need to dump as much as I can back into my mock safe. Grab all the corn that I can. Corn time. Corn mate. Corn. Corn Chan. Might be a kernel. That was a good one. Million corn. What is the basis for million corn? A Raganu control? Who has a Raganu? A Raganu? To the right. Sandoria. I don't want to go to Sandoria for that, man. I'll just bite off the auction house. I don't give a shit. Okay. That's why we have savings. No, we're gonna want the sneak oil and prism oil because we're gonna be heading back out there. Just deposit all of my life-saving equipment. We'll keep the... No, we won't. I'm not scared. I ain't no... My mama didn't raise no bitch. And we're going to be going naked. If you have any sensitivities to bare skin, now is the time to avert your eyes. Oh my. Alright, we're gonna fill up our entire inventory, or as much as will be allowed. Probably with moss. Moss is gonna be the most time and cost-effective way of dealing with the situation, I would imagine. We oughta... Nope, that's not what I wanted. We oughta moss. I just want to see where it is in the auction house. It is in alchemy. Interesting. I would have thought that it would have been in clothcraft for some reason. Friendly reminder, if you are new to the channel and you have enjoyed what you have seen so far and would like to see more of it, click on the little purple follow button on the main page. It helps the algorithm and me, and also feels pretty good. Boyota Moss is what? 8,000? I mean, it probably counts for a lot, but fuck. Boyota Moss, only the best. It is 600 gil. What is that per stack? 600 times 12. Okay, so it basically pays for itself. That's fine. I can stomach it then. 8. What about 7,900? Fuck you. Is 8 8 1. Guy, are you 8 2? 8 3. ISL go. 8 4. You're fucking squeezing me now. I'm not paying any more than that. What about Million Corn? What about the other thing that I was talking about? Lathine cabbage? That seems like shit. I mean, it's just in terms of just trading one, it's just gonna be so much easier if I just I'm rationalizing it. 8 5 8 6. I'm not, in the grand scheme of things, I can afford it. 8 7 8 8 9. Okay, there's no way I'm paying more than that for it. Fucking ripping me off. 5. Okay, 5 is reasonable for this. If anything, we can just buy all of these Boyota Moss, because we're going to be getting more back for it than we are buying it off the auction house. 6. 6. Don't feed the scalpers. Agreed. If I get like a huge, like a staggering amount of convenience out of buying it, I'm able to more easily rationalize it. But you're right. In that situation, going arguably 1,500 to 2,000 over definitely qualified as feeding scalpers. Your logic is sound. Million Corn? Sure. What about 900? Okay. We'll buy as many of these as we can get away with. 1. And then we'll just see if we can fill our inventory with it, so that you and I chat the legions of people for whom I needed to personally ask Mr. Bezos himself to increase the stream capacity for, to fit all of you in here and enjoy the insane dopamine rich environment rivaling the chemical psychedelic properties of Spice from the Dune universe levels of content that's gonna come from putting all this corn, good, we stopped, all this corn and moss into this elderly gentleman. Yell, teleport them. Can I have it? Not position. Money, you can have this. I am a Stoic. I've been a practicing Stoic of the school of Stoicism for about 9 years. If I had the opportunity to go back and re-pick it up at that pivotal point in my life, I would. 100 out of 100 times. We lucked out. We actually got a party invite right off. Hello. The philosophy of Stoicism informs every spoken word, action, thought that I take. It is ingrained in every fiber of my being, and I look for opportunities to role model that whenever I can. Can you meet me at Gusta OP? I guess, sure. On my way. Man, the white mage teleport economy must be really struggling if they are inviting me from Juno and we're like, hey, can you meet me halfway? If someone says they're stoic, does that counter stoicism principles, especially if they show excitement about it? Absolutely not. It's like any action, as long as it's philosophically consistent, is fine or virtuous depending on what your intent is. I mean, like, consider it this way. If Stoics never talked about being Stoics, there literally wouldn't be Stoicism. Like, it had to come from somewhere, right? Like, schools of Stoics were a thing. I do, yep. Talking to the white mage. Now, if I was like, yeah, I'm kind of like the real shit, and I was letting myself feel prideful on that account, that would be problematic. That would not be consistent. Now, to a third person perspective, it probably doesn't seem that different or any different at all, but you basically have to take my word for it. Or don't take my word for it, because I can't control how you perceive what I'm saying. Also ignore the naked cat girl. She is not stoic. I mean, stoic is in the name, but just because you name your firstborn Apple does not make them an apple. Oh, sorry. Apparently, do I need to be 20 to use her? Sorry, I wasted your time. I needed to be 20. 18 is my highest. I forgot there was a weird minimum level. Shame. Please forgive me. Now, different Stoics did have different stances on. Okay, they will run to me. That's even better. Different Stoics had different stances on teaching Stoicism, and in so doing, they needed to prove to others that the practice of Stoicism leads to independence of mind, contentment, so on and so forth. And so in so doing, they need to express that. What are your thoughts on Zeno? I think that it was very interesting how he was able to amalgamate a number of different philosophies into something that is not only coherent, but actionable. I also find it personally humorous that he was either he or like the collective as a whole, or I don't know what the exact situation was because I was born like 2,000 years later, 2,600 years later. Like what the situation could have been where they decided to not call Stoics at first, but to be called Xenonis, and then people were like, well, they're just the weird group of dudes that hang out at the painted porch all day, so we'll just call them the people that hang out at the painted porch, the Stoa Pocule, aka Stoics. I think that he definitely had some ideas that were considered fringe or very unusual or almost not unactionable but unrealistic or unrealistic to establish given the relative constraints of like the rest of the world's population, like the emotional growth capacity, however you want to word that, of like Zeno's Republic. The idea where it is comprised entirely of the Stoic ideals, sages as it were, where everyone would do everything purely for no other reason than it was the right thing to do, and that there would be no such thing as, or need, not that there would be no such thing, but there would be no such use for things like money or like private property, because like there would be no one would covet anything because they had trained themselves to the extent that the concept of private property would not exist. Not in like the sense that, thank you for doing this. Not in the sense of like, no, you can't have private property. Everyone would just mutually agree that all this stuff is just incidental and I'm fine without it. It's a headspace that is definitely completely foreign to most cultures today. But that was the rap. Let's see where this person is. This person that is helping me telly over to them is definitely doing it out of the kindness of their heart. It's, most people would normally just call this a loss, but this person is willing to come out and meet me in order to teleport me around. So, and normally I give them 1,000. I'm gonna give them 2,000. It's that they don't feel as though they've completely wasted their time. Because in the time that it took them to actually get out here, they could have done at least 2 warps. Or 2 tellies, rather. Thank you. Take care. So hopefully that encourages them to do other kind of things like that. I don't know if people are necessarily going to effectively double pay like I just did just then, but definitely felt like the right thing to do in that circumstance. So this stream has been very productive. I did not anticipate that we would have gotten to 17, much less 18, all in one go in one night. So that's one more thing off of the proverbial checklist that we need to take care of. Now I need to determine whether I want to take White Mage 225, which is what my instinct is, so I don't have to pay for like about 1 billion sneak oils or prisms over the long term. But that said, my main character is bankrolling this one. There's nothing really preventing me from purchasing, and I honestly don't feel any proclivity, any drive at all naturally to level White Mage. The job is fine, I like healing, but I would only be leveling White Mage in this respect for the utility of it. Let me just run my little cat booty over there. No.
Ooh,
Ooh woo.
meow, meow.
Meow.
It would be me raising Monk to be raising Monk and Warrior to 10. Do I have Warrior to 10? I don't think I have either Monk or Warrior to 10. Yeah. The next couple of streams with this character is probably going to be getting them up to level 10 on each. Which is not going to be the most high octane stuff ever, but I mean that's Final Fantasy 11 for you. I don't know what to tell you. There's no pass that I can buy. This isn't Blizzard. I can't just press a button and buy, you know, an insta jump to 10 from 1. I gotta pay my dues. I have to work for my dinner. And then Monk from 10 to 18, Warrior to 37, just all the way through. That's probably going to be the most dangerous thing that I do, period. I'm not going, just because this character is like a hardcore Iron Man thing, does not mean that, like I've said before, I'm going to avoid putting them in situations that are inherently dangerous for them, just because of like the gimmick that I'm aiming for. We play this game for the grind. Exactly. In this MMO, circa 2002, the destination is the journey. That's just how the game goes. Like, White Mage was dangerous enough in that you can't help but cure the people that your life is depending on, which naturally draws hate. Warrior, I'm going to be tanking. Unless I'm in a situation where somebody is like, no, I'm going to tank, or it's like a situation where it just naturally makes sense for another person to tank, like they happen to have more armor than I do. I'll go like shield axe, because that makes sense. And I don't think that there's going to be a situation though where I'm going to be out armored, because I'm not skimping on this character in any real way. I mean, if the fact that I actually went out and bought Pro Ethers and a Vile Elixir +1 to keep it alive is any indication, essentially dumping 15k more in medicines. Congratulations. All right, we're gonna eat an oil and a powder. But yeah, CCI Banks, if you are still here, if you want to positively drill into me about Stoic related questions for upwards of hours and treat the stream more or less as like an ask me anything, like Reddit post, you're welcome to do that. I'm 100% down for it. I mean, this part of me streaming is not just because video gaming has been, probably will forever be a primary hobby for me. It's also to give me opportunities to talk about the philosophy that has more or less made me who I am, and to teach others its utility. So just getting me to talk about it is helpful in its own way, because you use different parts of your brain to understand something and to talk about it at the same time. It takes surprisingly more brain power to talk about something in an understandable, digestible way versus just thinking about it when you're alone or writing it down. It uses different muscles, so to speak. This is a good song for this. And if that interests you, then press the follow button. Because even though I am stoic and I'm able to divorce my sense of value from seeing the line go up, it still gives you a little shot of dopamine. And if you ever want me to talk about why or how that could be, I would be happy to do so. But until then, just feel content to watch this effectively naked cat girl character walking invisibly through the dunes, if you would. There's not really any threats here anymore. I don't need any kind of minimum fame for this, right? Only the best. Okay, so random stream death should have happened by now. We're past the 10:30 mark. Has anyone, if they're actively paying attention, experienced anything resembling massive stuttering, video straight cutting out, insane pixelation, anything like that? Okay, I didn't think so, because normally my dropped frames goes from 0.1% to like 30% like instantly. Maybe I just did need to turn it off and turn it on again. But before I allow myself the access to my copium tanks, my copium reserves, I'm gonna wait to see how it behaves over the next 10 minutes. We've been live for 3 minutes, can you imagine? 3 hours, 47 minutes. So if it makes it to 4 hours without absolutely shitting its pants, the stream, not me, then we can call it a success. Go, girl.
Ja pierdolę, jakie bydle! Bober!
Don't mind me. You see nothing. I don't know why, but I randomly have Besieged on the brain. I so hope that they're going to try to implement Besiege into treasures. It would make me very sad. Like, even if they tell me, or tell us rather, that it's going to take like a month to implement, but they are working on it, I'd be content with that. I understand that it's going to be like a monolithic task to reverse engineer something of that scale. Like, it's basically like having the garrison event be semi-autonomous and then in the background, leading up to a massive, like 10 times garrison sized event in the city itself. But I feel like I based off of nothing, I feel like, well, based off the fact that you've implemented garrison at all, I feel like they're gonna try. So I am cautiously optimistic. Hello, what do you think of my sheep? I used to chase doing wildings for their wool, but now I've got sheep in my hand. I need 5 Lothian cabbages. I'm not gonna do the rest of his dialogue. I'm sorry. I'm not. Maybe one day I'll make it a make it a sub goal or something. Like a 1-day sub goal to hear me. I mean that. See, he's talking in a very strong, I presume, Irish or Scottish accent. Be prepared to hear this sound effect a lot. You and I are gonna have to experience it together. But this will definitely get us our requisite amount. This is now a corn stream. Is there here? Well, emoji Terra. Is there corn? There's an ear of corn. There's the ear of corn emoji. We're going to update the title of the stream to, excuse me, corn stream. Gonna update the title to corn stream. It said nobody has any illusions. There we go. Enjoy this way over the top music while we do this. Any Resident Evil 4 enjoyers, remake or otherwise, in chat? I did purchase it. I intended to play it like day one, on stream actually, as like the variety game, but I was foolish and requested the masses basically decide which game I played next. What a fool I was. No, the intentions were good. I do know that Resident Evil 4 introduced microtransactions after the review period ended, which is a kind of a gross thing to do. But apparently the base game is balanced enough that it's not really necessary to partake. Look at all these people shoving corn into this defenseless old man. Disgusting.
No.
You all should be ashamed of yourself for doing this.
Oh my god! Inhuman reactions!
And dog is being very cute. Beautiful baby. I love you. The cutest little baby on the whole planet. That's my opinion. Yeah. You want kisses? Want kisses on your buns? Little bun kisses? No? You got very kissable buns. Are you just gonna stare at me? Don't blame you. Who's down there? You looking for snacks? I can't give moss to the old man, Bubba, and pet you at the same time. Do it in between. I'll give you scritches in between. How's that? That's so good. It should definitely get me there. Alright, no frame drops yet. So that may have solved it. I don't know. I mean, I had allowed myself to listen to one guy on a internet post 2 years ago that said that if you have your bit rate any higher than 6,000, which is the maximum amount that Twitch officially endorses, that Twitch would find out and get so mad that they would throttle down your bitrate to the point that it wouldn't be watchable, which seemed to be in line with what I was experiencing. However, it was happening even if I was keeping my bitrate at 6,000. It's like, even though that one post I'm referring to happened to have had a lot of upvotes, I did not see their theory replicated anywhere else. Corn. Corn. While we're undergoing this journey together, all 8,000 of us that are watching, let's look up corn facts. So I get at least we can draw something educational out of this. Okay, if we're gonna go in on the corn stream info meta, we have to start early. Did you know that Iowa has approximately 86,900 farms? More than 97% of those corn farms are owned by farm families. Iowa ranks #1 in producing corn, soybeans, hogs, eggs, ethanol, and dried distiller grain solubles, DDGS, both close parentheses, which serves as a premium source of protein for livestock. Only 1% of corn planted in the United States is sweet corn. That seems weird to me. That can't be right. I don't know if these. Oh, that's the reason I was talking about Iowa so much. Is it's iowacorn.org. That makes sense. I guess, you know, it's like going to the Nestle site and being like, hey, what's the best chocolate? Field corn is the classic big ears of yellow dented corn you see dried and harvested in the fall. It's called dent corn because of the distinctive dent that forms on the kernel as corn dries. While a small portion of field corn is processed for use as corn cereal, cornstarch, corn oil, and corn syrup for human consumption, it's primarily used for livestock feed, ethanol production, and manufactured goods. Corn is considered a grain. Well, sweet corn is what people purchase fresh, frozen, or canned for eating. It's consumed as a vegetable. Unlike field corn, which is harvested when the kernels are dry and fully mature. See the fucking music cut in. Sweet corn is picked when it's immature. What is corn used for? Ethanol production, with 57% of the corn grown, at least in Iowa, to create nearly 27% of all American ethanol. Many products depend on corn as well, from paper goods and cardboard packaging. Really? I didn't actually know that. To all the meat, milk, eggs, poultry, and other protein products that come from corn-fed animals. This is gonna blow up my voice. But I gotta continue. I gotta do it. I gotta do it for the content, because if you motherfuckers don't hear corn facts for at least 20 minutes uninterrupted, you can start chomping at the bit and screaming and like spitting and stuff, and I cannot be held responsible for the environmental damage that you cause from being suddenly cut off from your supply. Farmers and ranchers that provide our meat, milk, and eggs depend on genetically enhanced crops as critical components. It's surprisingly hard to do this at the same time. Critical components to the production of their animals' feed. I lost where it was in the corn facts. Livestock in the U.S. have been fed genetically modified crops since they were first introduced in 1996. Oil, not corn. Well, I don't care about oil facts, so what is... I care about corn facts. It's been driving up global food prices. I'm fucking up now. The World Bank conducted... I gotta get back on that corn grind. My corn APM my CAPM is really low. The cost of energy from oil is integral to so much of the 84% of what makes up grocery costs. The great thing about corn that it provides is a renewable, environmentally friendly fuel source. It's animal feed for livestock, which is important to our food supply of sweet shoulder steaks and lamb chops and shit. Didn't say that. That's my words. I'm sorry, iowacorn.org, for putting words in your mouth. There's one silk for every kernel that grows in an ear of corn. I don't know what that means. You mean like the wispy vegetable stuff that's come? I mean, obviously vegetable stuff, because it's not like meat product is like happening organically from the corn. Come on. The number of kernels per ear can vary from 500, that seems like a lot, to about 1,200, but a typical ear would have 800 kernels and 16 rows. So I really hate to do this, guys. I gotta interrupt ad break in 1 minute. I'm gonna run ads now. I'm gonna pause the corn facts until everyone's returned, and then we'll resume post haste. Running ads. All right, all of you law-abiding subscribers will have to bear with me so that I can preserve some vestige of my voice. As you know how it is. You know, people come to the stream. You know, they're feeling frisky, feeling cute. Might watch the streamer later, and they come for the idea that I might improve their quality of life through debatably insightful takes on current world problems that they may be experiencing, but they stay for corn facts. That's like the actual hook of the channel. You just cannot get enough of it. You wouldn't think I'm already back up to 70,000 from 50,000, let it be known. Like, you don't get much loss at all from this. Like, it does require a little bit of like an upfront investment. I actually don't know. I'm not going for full rank at all. Like, probably 3 or 5, but I remember having to shove like probably like 4 or 5. I think that the only things that I would ever care about would be fame rank 4. I feel like I'm gonna get there for sure, but minimum is rank 3, which I'm almost certain I'm going to get from the fact that I've been trading the Boyota Moss. But I think it takes like 90 to over 100 stacks of corn to get to max, not even max rank, like rank 5. Like, it takes like an obscene amount. Like, I could break out the old Brady Games guide, hallowed be thy name, and, you know, suss out like quests that seem interesting, but my goal isn't to make it interesting in this specific respect. If I gain more time out of it to do interesting things in comparatively, I mean, I don't know, maybe people would like it if a streamer such as myself were to try to do all the quests that people typically avoid because it, like, the payoff is not worth the investment. You know, like, you basically like a typical Final Fantasy 11 quest is like, it's either like bring me a thing, like the quest is actually trying to find out what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, I don't think I've completed 5% of the quest. Right, agree. I'm right there with you, my friend. Like, most of the quests are either, the quest is in and of itself trying to figure out what the person is talking about. Like, I guess that using the warp scroll NPC as an example, They're like, huh, I wish I could oil this machine. You don't, there's no prompt, I don't think. I don't know if it even appears in your quest log. I'd have to see. We'll do the test when the time comes, but I don't know if it pops up in your log and then you're supposed to just figure out that he's talking about a slime oil. Like, to you in that instance, it might not even appear to be a quest. Nevertheless, something as critically important as a warp scroll, because I don't think you can get a warp scroll any other way. So it's either quests like that, or like the quest is like kill God and I'll give you a brass dagger. Like, there's no in between. It's either try to suss out the fact that I'm giving you a quest based off of extremely fringe information and go to a place and talk to a guy, and then you're like, okay, can you tell me anything about the guy, like what he might be wearing, or like geographically where he is in the world? No, Lamau, that's the quest. Like, I think that the Corsair quest, like, to start it, is almost verbatim like that. You talk to Lay Rat Person, a Quoquorn, if I'm saying that right, and Nashmau, I think, and he's like, if only I could find that guy whose jib I liked. I liked the cut of his jib so much, and he was a real prankster, and then that's it. That's like a job quest. I don't know how any of the Japanese players that were first introduced to this environment were able to figure out what the fuck they were supposed to do at all. It's like the internet was like cutting edge, right? Like, GameFAQs basically was just born. What are you supposed to do? I guess, like, accidentally progressing quests by trading everything to oh, thank God, we're almost out of corn. Trading quests or trading items to, like, every person that appears to be a quest giver that you come across. Talk to everyone. I mean, the closest thing in the modern day is, like, Elden Ring NPCs being like, oh, thank you for going to this area and doing this thing and bringing it back to me. Perhaps we'll meet again. Hee hee hee. And then they just fucking go somewhere else in the game world. Maybe they took inspiration from Final Fantasy XI, who knows? Yeah, there wasn't anything. Most people had dial-up, so they couldn't even use another computer. Right. And like this, like, for the time period, this game was probably like making most, like, this was like the Crisis back then. The Crisis of it was a Dark Souls and RuneScape of its time. No, RuneScape was around then. I've gotten so far away from corn facts that my brain is melting in real time. Anyway, back to corn facts. Corn is grown in every continent except Antarctica. I mean, that's a no shit for me, dog. 1 acre of corn is about the size of a football field. Does it have to be that size? I mean, you could make it bigger than that, right? Oh, about this. Oh, no, it's literally, I'm an idiot. It's literally giving me specifics. It's not saying, like, it can't be bigger than an acre. It just happens to be. Bushel of corn is 56 pounds, about the weight of a large bag of dog food. Interesting that they preface it that way. You need 3 stacks of corn. Can I just trade you the whole thing, man? I mean, at this point, we have to have some kind of, like, economic agreement. A single corn bushel can sweeten about 400 cans of soda pop. Learn more. What is it asking me to learn from that? Is it gonna corn, colon, it's everything. Is this where you try to convince me that corn syrup is good? No, it just took me back to the same corn facts, but there's got to be more corn facts than this. I mean, that honestly, that was kind of a lot. I mean, I'm all about the corn, but that was a real cornucopia of information. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. So we've made it. We're gonna make it to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard or your regional equivalent, and then I'm going to, as much as I know you're gonna protest, you're gonna, if you freak out at me, I can't help you. You're just gonna have to find some way to like calm yourself down. But you're gonna have to go probably to another stream where they're not going to be talking about corn or doing something corn related in the 2-decade-old MMORPG of which we find ourselves in. I know that sentiment is deeply triggering to you. You will just have to bear with me. When I do send you to another individual that is playing this wonderful game, do me a favor, and even if you don't plan on following them or whatever, just say hi in chat, and then maybe like a blurb. It makes them feel good. It gives them ammunition to say words. It helps them out in different ways. It's very uplifting to them, I assure you. All right, I'm gonna close down my corn facts page. Let's find someone that we can send all 8 million people to. I'm going to attempt to pick someone at random unless something stands out to me in particular. Let's see. Let us send you. Jebels is a good guy. And he also happened to die about 1 billion times in like a recent Chains of Prometheus mission. So I need to balance out his emotional equilibrium, assuming he's even thinking about it at all. /raid Jebels. Once I send you, you should be getting some kind of prompt. I greatly appreciate your being here. It's very likely, but not guaranteed, that we're going to be streaming tomorrow. If we do stream tomorrow, it may or may not be Final Fantasy XI or Ace Combat 7. I have not decided because I'm feeling kind of partial to both. If you enjoyed the content that you've seen today and you haven't been here before, press the follow button. It lets you know instantly when I'm live, and it gives me a little shot of dopamine, which is always nice. I will see you guys later or tomorrow whenever we next meet. I'm gonna press the button. You have yourselves just the best weekend ever. Bye-bye. That's it.